Listening to The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids.
We now leave our network programming to bring you the following special sports presentation.
The history, the tradition, the fun of Kernels baseball.
It's time for exciting live coverage of Kernels baseball, right here on the Kernels Radio Network. Now, the voice of the Kernels. In his 11th season, here's John Rogers.
On a gorgeous Thursday evening, the Kernels begin an 8-game homestand after launching the second half of the season on the road in Fort Wayne and Burlington. The Kernels come back from that road swing one game under 500, 3-4, and ready to take on the Cincinnati Red minor leaguers in the first of four, the Dayton Dragons. And we've been touting for the last couple of weeks a mission that we're all very excited about, a project that has grown in its success over the last several years. We've told you about the Army, the vintage Army Troop Transport Vehicle that will be parked outside Veterans Memorial Stadium starting this evening to take your non-perishable donations, your food items, in our effort to contribute to the 4th Annual Freedom from Hunger Community Challenge Food Drive. Those are a lot of important terms, Ann Hearn, and you're going to lead off with us here on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show and tell us about what we're asking Kernel fans to do, not just this evening, but through this Sunday, July 2nd.
Sure. What we'd like folks to do is to bring any kind of donation of a non-perishable food item, canned goods, peanut butter, nothing in glass or anything that will break, and bring it out here to the truck. When you do that, you'll get entry into a prize drawing that we'll be holding each of the 4 days that we're doing this. We'll be doing it from now through Sunday.
And non-perishable food items, you mentioned it could be peanut butter, it could be canned food. Could it also include things like macaroni or cold cereal?
It can include anything that's boxed, bagged, and canned that's non-perishable.
That's Barb Elsasser. Barb's batting second in our lineup tonight. Barb, thank you for clarifying that. And that leaves our listeners, our great community, a lot of leeway. They could go to Aldi. They could go to Hy-Vee. They could go to Target. They could go to Fairway. They could go to Dollar General. They could go to any number of places to get the non-perishable food items. Could they even go into their pantry, or do you prefer that they get them fresh off the shelf?
Oh, they can go to their pantry and they can go to their storage area too. As long as it's in good shape, we'll accept it. There is one caveat there. No 50-pound bags of rice.
All right, that's fair enough, because those are, you need to be a He-Man to lift them out of the truck.
That's right. They're a little hard to deal with if you're not used to dealing with it.
That's Barb Elsasser. She's from the Haycap Food Reservoir. Ann Hearn with us, and also we're delighted to have Jim Bruner. Jim may be a familiar name to some of you. He's on the Veterans Commission, and Jim, it's appropriate this 4th Annual Freedom from Hunger Community Food Challenge Drive is here at Veterans Memorial Stadium within a fly ball of Veterans Memorial Park. Jim, could you describe this wonderful vintage Army Troop Transport Vehicle, because it is very eye-catching?
Yes, actually it belongs to Tom Watson, and he volunteered the truck to us to collect the food, which was really nice of him. And they won't miss the truck when they come out here. We have it all decorated up, and it looks great. And we're hoping that a lot of our veterans will come out with food also. We made a challenge to them this morning, and we'll see what happens.
How did you get the word out, Jim, to the veterans?
We had an interview this morning on television, and Don Tyne, which is a Lynn County veteran, he made a challenge to them to bring food out, and now we'll see what happens. If they're true veterans, they will.
That's right, Jim, and I'm glad that's true, because soldiers, service people march through their stomach. They march on their stomach, and we have the ability in this community to make a difference.
Yes, well, veterans, they're out to help everybody, and they will help whenever they can, so I know they will.
Ann Hearn, this Army Troop Transport Vehicle that Jim Bruner just told us about will be here this evening, Thursday night, tomorrow night, Saturday, Sunday. What hours will it be staffed for people to bring their non-perishable food items for the Freedom from Hunger campaign?
We will be here at least an hour before the game, maybe a little bit before that. and then we'll be up probably here till about half an hour after the game starts. The truck will be here, however, during the daytime. Anytime during the time, people can drop it off, and if they want to get a chance to enter into the drawing, they can just go over to the ticket office, and the staff here at the Kernels Stadium will help, and that's why they're partnering with us in this effort, too.
Barb Elsasser from HACAP, what is the realistic goal? I know the press releases and the announcements I've been making that says the challenge is to raise 30 tons or 60,000 pounds. Is that something we've come close to achieving, or is it something we're really going to have to reach for the stars to attain?
Well, I think we can do it because this drive has been wonderful. First year, 12,000. Second year, 26. Third year, 55. We're only asking them to go up to 60 this time. 60,000, and I know they can do it.
That's phenomenal progress in this, the fourth year of the Freedom from Hunger Community Challenge Food Drive. Barb Elsasser, how do you then weigh the food? Do you take the Army transport truck to a weigh station at a truck weigh station, or how do you get the poundage weighed?
Well, we are in America's Second Harvest Food Bank, so we have a large warehouse, we have forklifts, we have pallet scales and everything, and we weigh it all and total it up.
Weighing, it's the fun part.
Yes, because we're always surprised by how much comes in.
We're visiting with three important leaders in this summer's Freedom from Hunger Community Challenge Food Drive that is at the ballpark. A vintage Army troop transport vehicle is parked here, and like Jim Bruner said, you can't miss it. So please bring your non-perishable food items tonight, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll have a final word with our three food drive leaders from Veterans Memorial Stadium on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show in just a minute.
Second to none, South Slope Cooperative. We're here for your communication needs, internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners who make us a team. Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative Communication. Communications Triple Play, voice, video, and data with South Slope Cooperative in North Liberty. South Slope's lineup features everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and digital video TV service in most areas. For all your communication needs, think South Slope. Visit them at southslope.com.
Ann Hearn, Barb Elsasser, Jim Bruner, our guests on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show as the Kernels begin an 8-game homestand with the first of 4 against the Dayton Dragons. And I'll have a quick question for each of you guys to wrap things up. Ann Hearn, this community, I guess there's a lot of complacency in a lot of communities. A lot of us don't live or have neighbors that go hungry. What spawned the interest in this?
We found that during the summer months, particularly when kids were out of school, that's when the food pantries really their shelves started to get empty. That's also the time when people tend to be more mobile and transient, so we see spikes in our homeless numbers at that time. So that's kind of what got this started. And that's also the time when the pantries get bare and people don't tend to think about giving during the summer months.
Great answer, and great reasoning for having it now. There are more mouths to feed because kids aren't being fed at school.
That's correct. That's really correct.
Jim Bruner, as a veteran, it has to please you that this is the site for the food drive. This is where it should be in Cedar Rapids.
Yes, it should be. With our memorial here, it's great. We'll have the truck up here in the morning around 8 o'clock, so if they want to drop things off then, they can. And we'll be set up for them. All they have to do is bring their food items, and we'll take them.
Thank you for that note, Jim. In other words, there doesn't have to be someone underneath the tent here that people can just drop them off like they would under a Christmas tree.
That's correct. They can drop them off, and like they say, you can go up to the ticket office and fill out a ticket for our drawing.
And let's get to that to finish up. Barb Elsasser from HACAP Food Reservoir. What prizes, what sorts of things could people win through a drawing by being so generous?
Well, they have gift packs from different organizations that may have shirts and mugs and cups and caps in them, or a backpack or something. But the big one for Sunday, where everybody's in, is an iPod Nano. And, you know, that's kind of, everybody could use one of those, don't you think?
Well, our players live by those on the motor coach trips, Barb. So Sunday, that will be the kind of the grand prize.
That's right. That's the one. If you drop it off tonight, your name is still in there for the drawing on Sunday.
Well, as we wrap up the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show, Mayor Kay Halloran has just strolled by, and it looks like she's going to make one of the first contributions. Many thanks to Barb Elsasser from Haycap Food Reservoir, Ann Hearn, and Veterans Commission member Jim Bruner. All three of you, we're on the topic of feeding and food. We want to thank all three of you, Ann, Barb, and Jim, for being our guests on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show with a $5 gift certificate that you can redeem at any of our Zio Johnnos. Zio Johnnos, I know you all three are aware, also contributes to the Haycap Food Reservoir. They're great people at Zio Johnnos. Please enjoy a meal with them. And on behalf of the Kernels and the community, Ann, thank you.
Thank you very much, John.
Jim, thank you for your service in the past to our country and during this food drive.
Yes, thank you for coming up and talking to us. It's terrific, and we have a lot of people that donate a lot of stuff, so that's good things done.
That's great to hear. Barb Elsasser, thank you.
Thank you, and thank the Kernels and the veterans for all the support we get for this effort. We couldn't do it without them.
Well, thanks to all three of you. Up next, we have the starting lineup series opener, Kernels versus the Dragons, here on the Kernel Radio Network.
Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative. We're here for your communication needs, internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners who make a good team. Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative Communications. Tuna Communications Triple Play, voice, video, and data with South Slope Cooperative in North Liberty. South Slope's lineup features everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and digital video TV service in most areas. For all your communication needs, think South Slope. Visit them at southslope.com.
Is it great to be home? The Kernels playing their first home game in almost 2 weeks. We ended the first half of the season here on Sunday, June 18th. Enjoyed 3 days off for the All-Star break, and then a 7-game road trip that saw the Kernels play well, but finish 3 wins, 4 losses. Kernel broadcast assistant Luvita Hill is alongside, and she'll give us the Allen Motor Company starting lineup in just a moment. First, let's set the scene for you here. It's a Thursday. 12-ounce draft beer, 12-ounce sodas are only $1. Slushies are just $1. And the highly acclaimed award-winning dance team, the Cedar Rapids Spirits, are doing a routine in front of the Kernel first base dugout. Meet me at the stadium. We encourage you to come out and join us during the next weekend. Really make the Freedom Festival and the 4th of July holiday even more fun and entertaining by coming to the ballpark. Anderson & Brown Eye Care sponsors our umpires this evening. Anthony West is at home plate. His partner is Brad Purdom. And Anderson & Brown Eye Care is the official eye care center of the Kernels. It's a comprehensive full-service eye care center, easy in, easy out at Anderson & Brown Eye Care. They're on Boyson Road in Hiawatha. Dr. Tom Anderson, Dr. Todd Brown welcome you to experience the best in eye care. You can have your eyes examined at Anderson & Brown Eye Care and then have your contact lenses and/or glasses fit right there on site. The entire building, the new building in Hiawatha, is wheelchair accessible. Things are coming into focus at Anderson & Brown Eye Care, and our umpires are Anthony West calling the balls and strikes, Brad Purdom on the diamond. As the Spirits wrap up their entertainment in front of the Kernel home first base dugout, here's Kernel broadcast assistant Luvita Hill with a look at tonight's Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup.
Before I give that starting lineup, I want to remind everyone that Allen's has a 2005 Buick LeSabre for only $199 a month, and this wonderful car gets 30 miles to the gallon. If you buy this car from Allen's, your first year's maintenance is on them. Visit Allen's Motor Company. Open late Mondays and Thursdays till 9, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday till 6, and Saturday till 5. Now for the Allen Motor Company Kernels starting lineup. Batting first for the Kernels is center fielder Brad Kuhn. Kuhn tops the Midwest League in field with 28. Second at bat for the Kernels is left fielder Flint Whipke. Whipke is making just his second start of the season in the outfield. Third in the Allen Motor Company Kernels starting lineup is switch-hitting all-star Heinle Stacia. Stacia will be at shortstop this evening. Batting cleanup for the Kernels is designated hitter Jordan Renz. Renz has struggled since the All-Star game. He's just 3 for his last 24. Fifth in the lineup is second baseman Larry Infante. Infante has lifted his average above the 200 mark. Mark Trumbo will bat sixth for the Kernels, and he'll be at first base this evening. Trumbo will be trying to break out of the 0-for-19 tailspin. Batting seventh in the Allen Motor Company Kernels starting lineup is Dallas Morris. Morris will be at third base tonight. And eighth in the lineup is catcher Madison Edwards. Edwards is catching for the second time this season. Batting ninth for the Kernels is Santrell Smith. Smith will be at right field tonight. 21-year-old right-hander Andy Hill will be making his sixth start on the mound today. Hill was a 7-2 winner last time out Saturday night in Fort Wayne. And that was a look at our Allen Motor Company Kernels starting lineup.
And, Louita, on such a nice Thursday night, I think you mentioned that Allen Motor Company is open until when tonight?
Today would be Thursday at 9 o'clock.
That's right. So if you're headed out to Allen's, make sure you tune us in, and we appreciate Allen Motor Company sponsoring that Colonel starting lineup. And great job, Louita. You're sounding more and more like a Colonel play-by-play broadcaster, probably better than what we have sitting to your right, but that was tremendous. Now Billy Gardner and his Dayton Dragon lineup. The Dragons are coming off a 4-game sweep over the Southwest Michigan Devil Rays in Ohio. That was in Dayton the past 4 nights. The Dragons' record is 4-3 in the second half. Leading off for Dayton is Mike Griffin at second base. The shortstop, Adam Rosales, will bat second. Hitting third for the visiting Dragons, Jay Bruce in right field. He's one of the best in the league. Bruce leads the league with 30 doubles, and he's ninth in the league with a .305 average. He also has 50 RBIs, third highest total in the league. Out of Princeton University, an Ivy Leaguer, batting cleanup for the Dragons, B.J. Szymanski. Szymanski will patrol center field. The first baseman batting fifth for the Dragons is Jabalito Hernandez. Big Bobby Mosby, 6'1", 290, will be the designated hitter. Bobby will bat sixth. Hitting seventh in the Dayton order is Eric Eyman, E-Y-M-A-N-N, Eyman at third base. The catcher bats eighth, Kristen Obi, and hitting ninth, Josh Holden in left field. Pitching tonight for the Dragons, making only his fourth start of the season, 3 relief appearances prior to joining their starting rotation, Robert Manuel. Manuel is from Houston, Texas. He went to the same junior college as Colonel starter Stephen Merrick, and then Manuel went on from San Jacinto Junior College in Texas to Sam Houston State University. He was drafted by the Mets, or signed by the Mets as a non-drafted free agent, and as a matter of fact, he posted an 8-1 record with the Gulf Coast League Mets in the Florida rookie ranks last year. 6'3", 200-pound, 22-year-old Robert Manuel is on the hill tonight for the Dragons. The Cost Cutters Dream Team members have taken the field, and they're standing next to their Colonel comrades. The Colonels in their white home uniforms with navy blue hats and red bills are out on the diamond, and we're about set to pause to honor America on this beautiful 81-degree Thursday night with the singing of the national anthem. Amber Fry is not Amber Fry. Where did I come up with that? Luvita Hill, who is singing the national anthem?
Our national Amber Ferry.
Okay.
You're close.
I'll tell you, those road trips keep getting to me at my age. This is Amber Ferry to sing the Star-Spangled Banner. Well, first the colors will be presented by the color guard. They're marching out in front of the pitching mound, and 4 service veterans have now marched in front of the mound. They're turning to face home plate with their arms down now and the American flag. We'll have an announcement from Wendy's, and then you will hear Amber Ferry sing the Star-Spangled Banner.
All those who work to preserve the freedoms we all enjoy.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, please join in the singing of our national anthem. performed this evening by Amber Fair.
Singer, and Levita, that was Amber Ferry.
That's right.
I don't know where I got Amber Fry, but that's probably because I'm a victim of the media culture, that awful murder case with Scott, what's his name, a few years ago. But Amber Ferry singing the Star-Spangled Banner. As the color guard retires the colors behind home plate, the Kernels are about set to take on the Dayton Dragons in the first of a 4-game series. Dayton's 4-3, the Kernels are 3-4. Colonel Broadcast Assistant Levita Hill, we have time before the game's first pitch to run over all the scores from this afternoon on the State Farm Major League scoreboard.
There were 4 games completed this afternoon, 1 in the National League, and the other 3 are interleague play. In the National League at Wrigley Field, Cubs and Brewers, the Brewers edge past the Cubs 5-4. In interleague play at PNC Park, the Pirates nipped the White Sox 7-6. And at FBC Park, the Giants beat the Rangers 2-1. And those are the games that were completed this afternoon, and thanks to State Farm Insurance agents Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, Gary Schubat, and Brad Dunn for that look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard.
Well, that win by Pittsburgh over the White Sox at PNC Park, as Levita noted, that broke a Pirate 13-game losing skid and cooled off the red-hot White Sox. We'll have more for you a little bit later on this evening on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Let's set the Kernels for you defensively. This is our first game at home since June 18th. In Levita Hill, it seems like it's been a year since we played at home.
I feel like I haven't been at this ballpark in so long. I don't know. It seemed like the drive didn't even take that long.
You are eager to get back here, and so are a number of fans who are on hand here this evening. Flint Ripke's in left field. He's making just his second start in the outfield. In center is Brad Kuhn. The right fielder is Stantrell Smith. Dallas Morris at third, Heinley Stacia at short. The Colonel's second baseman is Larry Infante, and at first, Mark Trumbo. Madison Edwards making his first start behind the plate this season. He caught earlier this year an inning or two in a regular season game, but Madison Edwards is the Colonel catcher this evening. Billy Gardner Jr., a trim, lean, almost skinny to the bones manager for this Dayton club, is coaching at third, and the game's first pitch from Andy Hill is upstairs to Mike Griffin. Mike is a 277 hitter, 3 homers, 30 RBIs. He's a right-handed batter with an open stance. And Andy nips the outside corner for a strike called. 81 degrees, our game time temperature. Outfield plays right-handed hitting Mike Griffin straight away. The 2 Dayton color themes are green and black. Their uniforms are gray. Hill's 1-1 is whistled foul into the screen behind home plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Mike Griffin. Andy Hill has pitched very well for the Kernels. This is his 6th start of the year. A 2-4 record with a 2.57 ERA. As Levita told you, Andy was a winner Here's a high pop fly into shallow right. Drifting out is Larry Infante, and Larry puts it away. About 40 feet into shallow right. Mike Griffin sliced it off the end of his bat, and he pops up the second, one away here in the Dayton first inning. Mike Griffin out of Baylor University, their leadoff batter. Here's their number 2 hitter, Dragon Adam Rosales. Rosales is from Western Michigan University, lives in the Chicago suburbs, 22-year-old right-handed batter. Actually, he just turned 23 a little over a month ago, and he slugs one in the air to pretty deep left field on the warning track. Flint Whipke floats back and makes the grab underneath the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion, and with 2 out here in the Dayton first inning, Luvita, who's enjoying the game tonight on the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion out there in left field.
On our picnic pavilion, we have people from Sherwin-Williams, Stony Creek, and Reams Sprinkler Supply.
Boy, there's a lot of them out there, too. Left-handed hitting, Jay Bruce, one of the most feared sluggers in this league, takes a strike on the outside corner. Bruce was the Reds' first-round pick last year out of Beaumont, Texas. Jay is only 19 years old, and he is a big fella. 6'2", 210. He whistles one past Larry Infante into right center. That's a 2-out single for Big Jay Bruce, a left-handed batter. Brad Kuhn hustles over into right center to prevent Jay Bruce from trying for a double. Jay Bruce whistled one to the right of Larry Infante into right center for a 2-out base hit, and the batter for the Dragons is B.J. Szymanski. Szymanski is a switch hitter, was a star receiver on the Princeton football team, 23 years old, from Wichita Falls, Texas. Szymanski is 6'5", 205. He's very lean and trim. Madison Edwards doing the catching tonight. Andy Hill wears his Colonel Red socks up high. So do all the Dragon players wear their black socks up high. A change-up from Hill is outside. Ball 1 to Szymanski, who spells his last name S-Z-Y-M-A-N-S-K-I. BJ's a .232 hitter, a dozen homers, 39 runs driven in. He's batting left-handed, and he taps one to second on one hop. Larry Infante pogo sticks up to glove it and whips his throw to first to end the inning. B.J. Szymanski bounces out to second, and Andy Hill pitches around a 2-out single and gets Szymanski to bounce out to second. No runs in the first for Dayton, 1 hit. There were no Colonel errors. The Dragons leave 1 man aboard, and after 1/2 inning, we're glad you're with us here on 1600 ESPN Radio, KCRG Cedar Rapids. After 1/2 inning, Dayton nothing, Kernels coming to bat. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Colonel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank, free money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
Meet Jim. When it's nice out, he spends weekends in his yard trying to kill weeds.
Gotcha.
Meet Dave. He spends weekends on the green. That's because Greg's Lawn Service takes care of his lawn. Mowing, fertilizing, pruning, and, weed control. Greg does the big jobs, too. Landscaping, retaining walls, curb edging, and patios. So when you've had enough of those little devils...
Yes.
Call 393-0101. Greg's Lawn Service, a cut above the rest.
Hi, I'm Sonia Sedlock, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance here in Cedar Rapids. We all know how quickly life can change. You buy a new car or a new home. Your family is blessed with a new baby. Your teenager starts driving the family car. I'm here to help with a complete line of insurance plans to give you protection when you need it the most. Pekin Insurance has been in business of insuring people for 85 years. I'm here to put your interests first. Please visit me, Tanya Sedlock, at the Andrews Agency.
Brad Kuhn, who recently had a 19-game hitting streak snap, will lead off for the Kernels here in the home half of the first inning. It sounds good to say that for the first time since June 18th. The Kernel record at home in the first half was 16 wins, 19 losses. The Kernels are just a game out of first place in the second half. There's a 5-way tie for first 5 clubs, Beloit, Clinton, Kane County, Peoria, the Swing of the Quad Cities are all 4-3. The Kernels are 3-4. Ball one outside from right-hander Robert Manuel to the Kernel leadoff batter. And there's a strike called. Manuel on this 81-degree Thursday night wearing a long-sleeve black shirt underneath his dragon gray road top. Robert Manuel, acquired from the Reds from the Mets. A breaking pitch is outside, and it's 2-1 to Brad Kuhn, nothing for 4 last night. 259 average, no homers, 18 RBIs, and a league-high 28 steals for Brad Kuhn. And a fastball is in for a strike. It's 2-2 to Brad, who steps out. The Dragons were 18-17 on the road in the first half, so they played above 500 baseball. Kuhn whistles the 2-2 pitch foul off to the left. That one doinks up onto the grandstand roof, and Colonel Batboy John chases it down just to the left of the third base foul line. The Dayton outfield plays Brad Kuhn to hit the other way. Holden in left, Szymanski in center, Jay Bruce in right. Brad fouls another one off to the left. Down below it goes. The crowd oohs and ahs if that one struck a fella in the back, but he's fine. Now the right-hander's next 2-2, and this one is fouled off down the left field line. Boy, is it great to be back home. 400 feet to dead center here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. 315 down the left field line, a 16-foot high white padded wall that says Randy Keel Confidence Pavilion on it with Randy Keel's website below. Down the right field line, it's 325. An 8-foot high green padded wall as a changeup is low and away. Ball 3 to Kuhn. A light breeze is blowing out towards left center. It's an idyllic midsummer evening for baseball. Here's a broken bat, looper to second, caught by Mike Griffin. Brad Kuhn was sawed off on his fist, strong enough to lift it to second base, where Mike Griffin moved a couple of steps to his left to spear it. Good at bat for Brad Kuhn as he ran the count full, but winds up breaking his bat and popping out to second. One away in the Kernel first inning. Here's Flint Whipke. Flint had a great night last night. He caught. He was 2 for 4. He tripled with 1 out in the 8th inning. The game really turned around in that Kernel 8th inning. We held a 2-0 lead. Had Whipke at third, Stacia at first with only 1 out, and did not score. And the rest of the story was a nightmare for the Kernels as we gave up 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning. And Burlington won it 3-2. Ball 1 outside, and now Flint, batting second in the Allen Motor Company order, swings at a fastball and misses. Robert Manuel is very slightly built. In fact, it looks like a stiff wind would blow him over. They list him at 6'3", 190, but I'm telling you, he's more like 6 feet even, about 160 pounds. A swing and a miss by Whipke, strike 2 to Flint. Flint's a .263 hitter this year, 1 home run, 19 RBIs. And a team-high 6 triples. Curveball, and Flint waits back on it and pops it foul up onto the Miller Mezzanine Terrace above the Kernel first base dugout. And Luvita, the Miller Mezzanine Terrace is jammed.
Yes, it is. Holmes Murphy brought 225 people.
Holmes Murphy's a great friend of the Kernels. They help insure our ball club. And, yes, they have a big group up there of 225. Ball 2 outside to Flint Whipke. 1 out. We're in the bottom of the first inning. No score. On a delightful night for baseball. Whipke hits one in the air to straightaway center. B.J. Szymanski doesn't have to move a step and puts it away. Flint Whipke hit it on the button but lines out to center. 2 away here in the Kernel first inning. And the batter, Heinle Stacia. Heinle, a switch-hitting Kernel All-Star shortstop, has his average up to 270. 1 home run, 19 RBIs. Stacia with a team-high 19 doubles. So Stacia leads the Kernels in doubles with 19. Whipke leads us in triples with 6. Kuhn leads us in stolen bases with 28. And Renz leads the ball club in homers with 44, or with 14. I wish Jordan had 44 home runs. He has 14 home runs and 44 RBIs. Ball 1 low, a changeup from the right-hander. Now a high pop-up to end the inning. It's at third. Eric Iman, 15 feet behind the bag, in fair ground by 6 feet, puts the clamps down on it. Heinle Stacia has popped up to third to end the Kernel first inning. And Robert Manuel sets the Kernels down in order in the bottom of the first inning. As we go to the second here on Freedom from Hunger Night, it's the Kernels and Dragons scoreless. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
There's a lot you can do to satisfy your taste for Italian. You can marry one. You can drive one. Or you can go to Zio Giano's and feast on Zio's homemade bread, pizzas, and pasta, authentically prepared in Zio Giano's famous Italian style. Zio Giano's for the hometown taste of Italy.
Come to Zio Giano's, our pasta makes you sing. Come to Zio Giano's, for real Italiano. Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes.
What do I get at Cost Cutters? Hey, my hair is my trademark. I gotta be able to count on a good cut and stuff to keep my hair looking thick, even if it's not.
I get a good cut, no long wait, a smile, and a little something left over in my wallet.
I get little trims that keep my hair long and healthy, and stuff to make it loose and curly one day, straight and sassy the next.
With expert stylists trained in the latest trends and techniques and your favorite professional styling and hair care products, you'll always get what you're looking for at Cost Cutters. At Cost Cutters, you can always count on convenient, affordable, professional care and products that help you create just the style you want. At Cost Cutters, you'll always get a little more.
What do I get at Cost Cutters? A slick, clean cut, great highlights, and a little win from the hottest stylist I've ever seen.
Joselito Hernandez, a veteran of sorts for the Dayton Dragons, is first up here in the Dragon second inning. And ball one is inside from Andy Hill. Here's a high fly ball into deep left, drifting back, way back is Flint Whipke. Flint reaches over his head and makes the catch. Oh, Flint Whipke had to go a long way back. He's not used to playing left field, and he made a pretty tough play look easy. Joselito Hernandez made a bid for a leadoff home run or at least an extra base hit to open up the Dayton second, but Hernandez skies out to deep left where Flint Whipke drifted back all the way in front of the game time Budweiser sign on the edge of the warning track to catch it. Well, Levita Hill, I wanted you to describe the physique of Bobby Mosby. He's the batter now for the Dragons.
Well, he doesn't seem like he's not terribly tall, but he is.
He pops one up to shallow third, way high, and it's a fair ball, and halfway up the third base side in fair ground, Dallas Morris makes the play. Now, Lubita, you'll get a better look at Mosby as he trots back into the Dayton dugout.
He seems like he's just over 6 feet, and he is quite stocky.
Yes, they list him at 290.
Wow, he has a lot of weight on him. You can definitely tell that.
He kind of looks like a football player.
He does.
He's a big cat, man. Bobby Mosby, and he pops out to shallow third. Andy Hill's retired the first two. In the Dayton order, in the second inning, numbers 5 and 6 hitters. Here's Eric Iman, a right-handed batter who takes outside for ball one. Iman's hitting .262, 3 homers, 22 RBIs. No score. We're in the top of the second inning. Eric Iman puts his feet very close together. He's a right-handed hitter. And a breaking pitch is upstairs, ball 2 from Andy Hill. Andy, in 35 innings this season, has only allowed 27 hits, struck out 16 in 35 innings, walked only 4. And the league is hitting a minuscule .216 off Andy Hill, whose fastball is a strike called. Andy was a 7-2 winner Saturday night in Fort Wayne. He gave up just 1 run in 8 innings on only 3 hits, struck out 4 Wizards, walked 1. The 2-1 to Eric Iman is drilled into right center. Brad Kuhn away back, comes together with Stantrell Smith. Brad Kuhn calls off Stantrell and lassos it in right center field. Eric Iman on a 2-1 delivery from Andy Hill hit it high and rather deep into right center, but Brad Kuhn ran to his left, called off Stantrell Smith, and Brad caught it. A 1-2-3 inning for right-hander Andy Hill. Great to be back at home here on Freedom from Hunger Night. It's a Bucket Cup Thursday with 12-ounce draft beer and 12-ounce sodas and slushies, only $1. After an inning and a half, with the Kernels coming to bat for the second time against right-hander Robert Manuel, Kernels nothing, Dragons nothing. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Every day we use products that come to us in plastics. milk jugs, water bottles, laundry detergent, ice cream. These are just a few of the hundreds, thousands of products that benefit from plastics. But once you're done using them, what do you do with them? Recycle. It takes no more energy to put that plastic in your blue recycling box rather than the trash. But what it does save is landfill space and natural resources. Reduce, reuse, recycle. It's just that easy. This message brought to you by Solid Waste and Recycling Services.
Did you know that June is Perennial Gardening Month? Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center is your perennial plant expert with the best selection in town. Start your lasting perennial garden with Peck's great variety of new and all-time favorite perennials. From our selection of quality perennials, Peck will help you select the right perennials for your garden or yard. Each week during the month of June, Peck will feature a perennial plant available for a special price. Be sure to look for this week's featured perennial as you stroll through our many acres of plants and flowers. Stop by to visit the plant people at Peck's as you sell your perennial garden or add to your existing garden. Peck, celebrating 50 years of growing since 1956. Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center, nursery and landscaping, at the corner of Blair's Ferry and Edward Road, Northeast.
Oh, Levita, I've slipped over the word Blair's Ferry many times. And June, there's not much time left.
That's right. June's almost over. Today's the 29th.
So get out to Peck's before before the end of this week for that Perennial Gardening Month and those special prices as you stroll through Peck's acres of perennials. Jordan Renz will try to get on track. He struggled in the second half, 3 for 24, and a fastball from Robert Manuel misses inside. Robert is 0-1 this year, a 3.38 ERA, making just his fourth start of the year. His fastball is inside and high to Jordan, 239 batter. DH, cleanup batter in the Allen Motor Company order. He's ahead 2-0. We're in the bottom of the second, no score here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. And a towering pop-up to the first baseman, Jabalito Hernandez, calls off the second baseman, and Jabalito Hernandez, 20 feet to the outfield side of first base, makes the catch on the dirt of the infield. Jordan Renz on a 2-0 pitch is popped out to first, and there is one out here in the Kernels second inning. 4 straight retired by Robert Manuel. Came over from the Met organization. Last year with the Florida Gulf Coast rookie Mets, he was 8-1 in 5 starts and 7 relief appearances at 2.06 ERA. He's out of Sam Houston State, and his changeup is low to the red-hot Larry Infante. Larry's lifted his batting average over the 200 mark. He's batting .206, and the left-handed batter whistles the 1-0 pitch foul straight back. The Dragon outfield plays Larry Infante to hit the other way. Larry with 2 homers, 15 RBIs, batting with the bases empty, 1 away here in the Kernels second, and a changeup dipped below the barrel of the bat of Larry, and Larry swung and missed strike 2. Infante was 2 for 4 last night in the Kernel gut-wrenching 3-2 loss in Burlington. Infante reaches out and slaps the 1-2 delivery from the Dragon right-hander into the screen just in front of the Dragon third base dugout. Dayton's won 4 in a row. They swept the Southwest Michigan Devil Rays at Fifth Third Field in Dayton. They lost their first 3 games of the second half. A ground ball to first. Jabalito Hernandez has it behind the base, waves off the pitcher Manuel, and Jabalito Hernandez beats Larry Infante to first for the second out here in the Kernels second inning. Infante wraps out to first. 2 away for Mark Trumbo. Mark's trying to get on track. He's nothing for his last 19. A 2-11 batter on the year. Trumbo has 9 homers, 32 runs driven in. Mark, nothing for 3 last night. Big, tall, right-handed slugger, 20-year-old, who hit .274 in rookie ball last year. And a changeup is a strike call to Mark Trumbo. Mark had 10 home runs in 71 games last year, drove in 45 runs. Also had 23 doubles. Mark Trumbo loops one back our way, just down below our broadcast booth. We're just to the left of home plate here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. We have a breathtaking panoramic view of the Cedar Rapids skyline. The nothing in 2 pitch to Mark is up and in. Talk about a good view. We also have a beautiful view, Lupita, of the Whirling Waters Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM home run hot tub in left field, and I'll let you welcome our guests there in a moment as ball 2 misses low. I think it's the same family that sang the national anthem.
Actually, I'm not sure about that, but it's Angela Dunn.
Oh, Angela Dunn, okay. Yes, Amber
Ferry.
She sang the national anthem. Mark Trumbo lifts one in the air to right. Coming on is Jay Bruce, and Jay Bruce makes the catch to end the Colonel second inning. Mark Trumbo flies out to right, and the first 6 Colonels have been dispensed of with ease by Dayton starter Robert Manuel. We're already going to the top of the third inning on this beautiful Thursday night, and it's scoreless between the Colonels and Dayton. You're enjoying Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Pepsi Smash.
Hey, it's Mariah Carey. So you know that feeling you get when you meet someone new and, like, you got those butterflies every time when they call? Well, here's a ringtone that I created just for that moment. And you can only get it at PepsiSmash.com. Then there's the flip side. The guy you chose to give the heave-ho 2 years ago, but he still keeps calling. Well, here's your signal not to pick up the phone. Nice, huh? There's only one place you can get these, PepsiSmash.com.
Pepsi gives you the chance to get original, exclusive ringtones created by your favorite artists like Mariah Carey. Look under specially marked Pepsi caps and log on to PepsiSmash.com for information. 1 in 3 gets a ringtone. Also enter for a chance to win the newest Motorola cell phones. A winner every 10 minutes. No purchase necessary. Promotion subject to official rules at PepsiSmash.com. Internet access required. You must be 13 or older to play. Promotion ends 8/6/06. Ringtones must be downloaded by 8/20/06. Void where prohibited.
Imagine the convenience of accomplishing your next real estate transaction under one roof. Buying a home, selling a home, or securing the right mortgage loan are simple and worry-free at Todd Financial Services. Todd Financial Services knows that you've worked hard to be able to make the dream of home ownership a reality. Todd Financial Services understands that people do business with people they trust. You can count on Todd Financial Services to put you and your needs first so that your real estate transactions are pleasurable.
Catcher Chris DeNovi will lead off against right-hander Andy Hill. Andy's 21 years old. Enjoyed talking to him in Fort Wayne recently on our road trip. And Andy Hill delivers a fastball just outside to Chris DeNovi. Chris has played in 32 games for the Dragons. He's a right-handed hitting catcher with a 188 average, 1 homer, 12 RBIs. DeNovi pops one a mile high. This one will reach the third base seats for strike one. Madison Edwards making his first start behind home plate. He's catching for the Colonels tonight. Up the middle, it's Stacia at short, Infante at second. On the corners, Morris at third, Trumbo at first, and an outfield of Whipke, Kuhn, and Stantrell Smith left to right. They played DeNovi straight away. Chris jackhammers the next pitch foul into the backstop, strike 2. Gorgeous night for baseball here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Tomorrow, you'll want to get here early because we have a wonderful giveaway tomorrow.
That's right. We have the iOS Office Solutions hat giveaway.
The 1-2 is low from Andy Hill, evening the count to DeNovi, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Gates open at 6. The game's at 7. Get here early to get your hat.
And, Levita, how many of those hats will iOS Office Solutions be giving away?
1,000. So you'll want to be one of the first 1,000 fans so you can receive one of these hats.
A curve is grounded to short. Heinley Stacia has it on to first for the first out of the third inning. Chris DeNovi pulled a curveball by Andy Hill to the shortstop, Stacia, and Heinley fired to first to get his man. 1 out here in the Dayton third, no score. The Dragons and Colonels split a 4-game series back in early May in the city that gave birth to Flight, Dayton, Ohio. Here's Josh Holden batting for the first time, the number 9 hitter for the Dragons. A left-handed batter and a strike called on the outside corner from Andy Hill. Andy lives just 50 miles south of the Canadian border on the east side of the mountains, so he doesn't have the kind of weather in that part of Washington State that Seattle has. In fact, Andy Hill told us that cherries and apples are the main 2 agricultural crops grown in his area in north central Washington. 0-2 to the batter, and now ball 1 low. Josh Holden is a .246 hitter, no home runs, 8 RBIs. Holden, out of West Point, he's achieved the ultimate in terms of a disciplined, proud education, having gone to West Point. He swung and missed at a pitch in the dirt, and Madison Edwards tags out Josh Holden. 2 gone here in the Dayton's third inning. No score. Andy Hill's only allowed 1 base runner through 2 2/3. A 2-out single by Jay Bruce in the first inning. Andy Hill, a 2.57 earned run average, has walked only 4 batters in 37-plus innings now. Strike 1 is called to Mike Griffin, the leadoff batter. Griffin is 5th in the league with 86 hits. Jay Bruce, the number 3 hitter for the Dragons, has 88 hits. A fastball from Andy Hill is low and away, 1-1 to Mike Griffin, who popped out to Larry Infante at second to open tonight's game up. The Dragons, one of the few road teams in all of the Midwest League. Here's a line shot. Stacia has it on 1 hop. Heinley made a fine play and pegs across the diamond to get Mike Griffin, who had a hit taken away from him on a bullet. A scalding 1-hop line drive. Heinley Stacia bent his elbow back towards left field and created a holster of sorts to grab that line shot on 1 hop, and then he threw Mike Griffin out to end the inning. And that's 7 in a row set down by 21-year-old Colonel right-hander Andy Hill. After 2.5 innings here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, the score remains the Kernels nothing and the Dragons nothing. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball here on the Colonel Radio Network.
Don't you wonder sometimes how all those companies who claim to be the best can actually be the best? Doesn't just one of them have to be the best? When it comes to motor coach travel, Tri-State Travel is the best. We have the highest safety rating, the largest variety of coaches, a trained driving staff, and 66 years of experience. Don't you want to travel with the best? That would be Tri-State Travel, now at our new location on 7th Street Southwest.
Hi, this is John Rogers, the voice of the Kernels. I'd like to share a few words with you about Colonel Team Physician, orthopedic surgeon Dr. David Terse. My father was a surgeon, and like most sons, I looked up to him as the greatest dad and the best doctor on earth. When I was diagnosed with a torn meniscus in my right knee recently, I wondered if my doctor here in Cedar Rapids would measure up to my dad's standards. My doctor was Dr. David Terse. Dr. Terse's thorough and expert explanation of my x-ray, his calm and reassuring description of the procedure he would be performing, and his kind and confident bedside manner impressed me beyond my expectations. Dr. Terse has those exceptional qualities we all hope to find in our doctor: an established reputation of excellence, the ability to communicate with us so that we understand and trust his words, and that gut feeling that he truly cares about us. Dr. Terse is a world-class surgeon and a first-class person. I've experienced firsthand why the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, the Colonel's parent ball club, has entrusted Dr. Terse to care for our players. We go to the home half of the third inning, and it's the Kernels nothing, Dayton nothing. The Dragon uniforms are gray, and then, Luvita, I'll let you paint the rest of the picture for our listeners. We get a lot of comments from folks saying, boy, thanks for making us feel like we're right at the game, and I'd like you to describe the color scheme of the Dayton gray road uniforms.
Dayton, they are wearing gray uniforms.
Dallas Morris punches the first pitch on 2 hops to the right side. Mike Griffin gobbles it up and tosses to first. Dallas Morris opens up the Colonel third inning by lacing a 2-hopper to second, and he was thrown out by Griffin. 1 pitch, 1 out. 7 in a row set down by Robert Manuel, the Dayton right-hander.
Dayton players are wearing a gray uniform with black numbers outlined with a deep green, a deep dark green. Their hats are black with the Dayton logo in green.
Madison Edwards catching tonight, left-handed batter, hitting 129 in 38 games, looks at a strike called.
They also wear black shirts underneath their gray road uniform shirts.
The 0-1 to Edwards is low for ball 1.
And black socks, which are pulled up high, and all of them seem to be wearing black shoes.
And I'll tell you why all their socks are pulled up high in a moment, Luvita. Ball 2 low and away to Madison Edwards. The Cincinnati Reds believe in tradition and uniformity. You call a the dress you wear in baseball, a uniform, and so why not wear it so they all look alike? Here's a base hit into right by Madison Edwards. That's the first Kernel hit of this game. Madison Edwards drilled it between Mike Griffin, the second baseman, and Jabalito Hernandez at first. The Dragon right fielder Jay Bruce gets it back in. 1 on, 1 out for Stantrell Smith. Stantrell's wearing his Kernel Red Sox up high for the first time this season, and that's why they call it a uniform.
Well, they do look uniform.
Yeah, that's the Cincinnati Red philosophy, dating back to the early 70s when they didn't allow facial hair and you had to wear your stirrups, as they called them then, up high. Stantrell Smith takes a vicious hack and misses strike 1. 1 on, 1 out. Kernels with their first base runner of the night against right-hander Robert Manuel.
That will probably be one thing that is not uniform about the team. Some are wearing stirrups, some are wearing black socks.
That's exactly right, without the stirrups. You're right, Luvita. The Kernels are in our white home uniforms with blue caps, navy blue caps, red bills, red batting helmets, red socks. Kernels written in big block letters across the front in red, trimmed in black. A throw to first, and Madison Edwards scoots back safely. The Kernels are leading the league in stolen bases with 101. We've been caught 65 times. Out to the mound for a visit goes Chris Denovi. Denovi followed the path that's carved between the dirt batting circle and the mound, and it's the same path the plate umpire Anthony West is marching up to break up the summit on the mound. Chris Denovi is wearing black shin guards, a black chest protector, a black batting helmet, and a traditional catcher's mask. That is, he's not wearing the hockey goalie-like mask. Stantrell Smith, a 207 hitter, no homers, 10 RBIs. Swings late and misses on an 83-mile-an-hour fastball, according to the Bank Iowa speed pitch indicator in right center. Strike 2 on Stantrell. Stantrell Smith drove in the game's only run in the Kernel win Tuesday night in Burlington. The 0-2, up and away, a fastball. It's 407 to deep left center. That's the deepest part of this ballpark. And in front of the silver flagpole, 403 to right center. The 6-story high scoreboard with the Rockwell Collins LED video board in the middle of it dominates the outfield wall. Ball, strike 3 called on the inside corner, according to the plate umpire Anthony West. That pitch looked inside. Stantrell was rung up, caught looking for the third out, or the second out of the third inning. Boy, that pitch looked inside. We want to welcome Ray Doctorman. I hope Ray will stop in a little later this evening. Ray is in charge of the employee benefits for our local union members, and he also heads up the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Union, Local 125. They have a beautiful sign here on the scoreboard at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Ray Doctorman is here tonight in one of our Colonel Diamond suites, and we hope Ray will stop in and say hello. 0-1 as Brad Kuhn takes a strike call. Brad popped to second, a broken bat looper in the first inning. No score, bottom of the third. The 0-1 pitch. Strike 2 called, a fastball from Robert Manuel on the outside corner. Robert Manuel, you wonder why the Mets would either trade a guy like this or let him go. He was 8-1 in rookie ball last year. He's 23 years old, soon to be 22, soon to be 23. Brad Kuhn grounds one to deep short underneath the glove of Adam Rosales into shallow left, stopping at second, Madison Edwards. That will likely be an error charged to the shortstop, Adam Rosales. It is. He tried to backhand that hard-hit ball, and Rosales had it leak out of the webbing of his mitt into shallow left field. Adam pounced on it before Madison Edwards could charge over to third. Brad Kuhn reaches on an error, the second in 11 games committed by Adam Rosales out of Western Michigan University. And the Kernels, with Flint Whipke at the plate, will try to take the lead here in the bottom of the third inning. Flint, batting .263, flew out to center his first time up. Whipke's a right-handed batter with a narrow stance. He wears a pair of white batting gloves. Flint's batting with 2 on, 2 out. And a changeup just downstairs from the right-hander, Robert Manuel. Edwards at second. Brad Kuhn at first for Flint Whipke. Manuel has his sign. Robert comes set just below the chin and delivers. Curve, and it's downstairs for ball 2. This is the first of an 8-game homestand, and as Levita told you, tomorrow, if you're among the first 1,000 to come to the ballpark, the gates open at 6, you'll receive a cap thanks to iOS Office Solutions. It's cap night tomorrow. The 2-0 to Flint with 2 on, 2 out, no score, third inning. Strike 1 at the knees. Then Saturday night, Levita, you've been here for enough Saturday evenings to know we'll have a big crowd because it's our most popular promotion.
That's right. Saturday night, fireworks. Thanks to Procter & Gamble, we will have our fireworks here this Saturday night, just like every other Saturday night. Can't wait to see them.
Oh, they are something. Ball 3 is high to Flint. Sun shining here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. You'd hardly know that there were hundreds of people trudging around this field the last week and a half shooting the movie, The Final Season. I mean, this field took a beating, but it looks great thanks to Jesse Rader and his Midwest League award-winning grounds crew. Flint Whipke sends the 3-1 pitch soaring high in the air onto the Papa John's Plaza down the right field line. It's a full count now to Flint, and with 2 out here in the third inning and the game scoreless, Madison Edwards will be running from second and Brad Kuhn from first base. Robert Manuel on the payoff delivery to Flint. And Flint smokes it foul up onto the Miller Mezzanine Terrace. Levita, who was here before the game for a pregame picnic? Did we have anyone?
Yes, we did. We had Heritage Association and Cougar Wrestling.
Boy, those pregame picnics are fun because you get to eat all the food and drink you want for an hour and a half before the game. Then you sit together in the stands for the ball game. The runners will be off for a second time as Flint Whipke on a 3-2 delivery laces it into right center for extra bases. Flint has put the Kernels ahead 2-0. Madison Edwards scores. Speeding around third and scoring is Brad Kuhn, and Flint Whipke dives into third with a head-first slide. Flint Whipke, with his team-high 7th triple of the year, has given the Kernels an early 2-0 lead here tonight. On a 3-2 pitch with the runners going, Flint Whipke drilled a 2-run triple into the right center field gap between right fielder Jay Bruce and B.J. Szymanski, the center fielder, and that is the team high 7th triple of the year for Flint. Heinley Station knuckles one down the left field line, fair, base hit, base hit. Heinley makes it 3-0 Kernels. The left fielder, Chris Holden, bobbles the ball but gets it back in. Heinley Station with his 20th RBI of the year drives home Flint Whipke after Flint's 2-out, 2-run triple, and the Kernels are on top here in the bottom of the third inning, 3-0. Luvita, I think this crowd's pretty darn happy that the Kernels have broken out on top.
I think they are. They sound excited.
They do sound revved up about the 2-out, 2-run triple, his team-high 7th of the year by Flint Whipke, followed by an RBI single, looped down the left field line by switch-hitting Colonel All-Star shortstop, Heinley Stacia. It's 3-0 Kernels. Larry Pearson, the Dragon pitching coach, pays a visit to the hill. Well, that error by shortstop Adam Rosales, very costly. It allowed Kuhn to reach, and it allowed the Kernels to extend the inning, and the Kernels have made the Dragons pay. Here's a pitch in the dirt. Stacia trying for second. Heinley makes it. The throw goes into right center field. Stacia pops to his feet, goes to third, and he's there. Heinley Stacia steals second, his 10th stolen base of the year, and the throw by Chris Denovi sailed into center field. Denovi's charged with his 3rd error of the year. Oh, they don't give Stacia a stolen base. They say that Heinley advances to second on a wild pitch, and that's a just ruling because Stacia was not running on the play. Heinley did take off for second as a wild pitch has been charged to Robert Manuel, And Jordan Renz, who took a ball in the dirt, a wild pitch in the dirt, has a chance to make it 4-0 Kernels. Line drive right at the third baseman. Eric Iman went into a catcher squat to stab that vicious line drive off the bat of Jordan Renz, and that ends the Kernel third inning. What a great third inning it was. The Kernels strike for 3 runs, all with 2 out on 3 base hits. 1 Dragonair. The Kernels leave 1 aboard, our first stranded of the evening. We go to the top of the 4th inning, and it's the Kernels leading the Dragons 3-0. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Cedar Rapids' oldest wholesale greenhouse is also Cedar Rapids' full-service landscaping and lawn care center. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has been serving eastern Iowans for 50 years at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road, behind Guppy's on the Go. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has a full line of trees and shrubs like magnolias, maples, and lilacs. And for a limited time, buy any potted tree and Cedar Rapids Greenhouses will deliver and plant it free. If you're searching for the right beautification project, let the trained landscape designers at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses help you create a unique plan for your home. From retaining walls to ponds, waterfalls, and fountains, they'll work within your budget and taste, and they do free estimates. Lawn care featuring mowing, fertilization, seeding, sodding, aeration, dethatching, maintenance, and cleanup are all done with care and precision. For the highest quality and low prices, see the difference at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses, Eastern Iowa's full-service landscapers at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road.
Hi, I'm Phil Andrews, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance in Cedar Rapids. I'd like to introduce you to an easy-to-understand, affordable life insurance plan with great benefits. It's simplified issue whole life from Pekin Insurance. The plan requires no medical exam, has guaranteed rates for life, and a guaranteed cash value. Life insurance made simple and affordable from Pekin Insurance. To learn more, contact me, Phil Andrews, at Andrews Insurance.
3-0 Kernels as we go to the top of the 4th inning. It'll be Adam Rosales, Jay Bruce, and B.J. Szymanski here in the 4th inning. A 2-out, 2-run triple is team high 7th of the year by Flint Whipke, and then an RBI single by Heinle Stacia. The man who gave the Kernels the chance to keep the inning going by committing an error at shortstop, Adam Rosales, will lead it off for the Dragons. He tags one deep into left center, way back. It's over the head of Brad Kuhn, off the 378 mark. The left fielder, Flint Whipke, gets it back into the cutoff man, Heinle Stacia, and Adam Rosales, trying to atone for his error that helped the Kernels score in the bottom of the 3rd, has bashed a leadoff double high over the head of Brad Kuhn in center. And the Dragons have a runner at second with nobody out here in the 4th inning. Jay Bruce, 305 hitter, 10 home runs, 50 RBIs, 3rd highest RBI total in the league. He leads the league with 30 doubles. Andy Hill whirls and looks the runner, Adam Rosales, back to second. Jay Bruce is some ball player, only 19 years old. The Reds took him in the 1st round out of high school last year. Swinging a foul. That one bashed into the umpire's doors behind home plate. Jay Bruce stands straight up from the left side, uses a black lacquer bat, wears a black batting helmet, uses black gloves, batting gloves. A change-up low from Andy Hill. Andy Hill underwent Tommy John surgery last year. Told us on the South Slope Communications Triple Play show there was a little bit of scarring, so he had to have a second follow-up surgery, but he feels great. The 1-1. Bruce pulls it foul, weakly on the ground, past first base. 3-0 Kernels. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Halo happenings, results from around the Angel organization from last night. Our Angels fell our parent club, the Angels, fell 8 games below 500, 35-43, as the Rockies crushed the Angels in Anaheim 6-2 last night. Former Colonel right-hander Scott Shields was the loser. Tommy Murphy had a hit. So did Mike Napoli. Here's a base hit down the left field line, maybe extra bases. Over to get it is Flint Whipke. Jay Bruce rounds first, holds on as a run scores, and suddenly the Colonel 3-run lead is cut to 2, 3-1. Jay Bruce is 2 for 2. Jay on a 2-strike pitch served it down the left field line for a base hit. Luvita Hill, it looks like we may have our guests from the YMCA here, Kevin and Kyle Schrader. And if they are here, Luvita, you can bring the first one of our guests down. I don't know if it'll be Kevin or Kyle, but we expected guests from the YMCA. B.J. Szymanski is at the plate. I'm not sure if these are the YMCA kids. Let's do this, Luvita. If this isn't Kevin and Kyle Schrader, Luvita, let's write their name. It is Kevin. And good. How about, now, Kyle, would you like to come down first, honey? Oh, that's Kevin? That's Kyle. Okay, Kyle, come on down, bud. Kyle Schrader is here from the YMCA. Kyle, Luvita's going to help you with your headset, bud, and your dad will. Kyle's going to spit out his gum. And Luvita, if you could help him with that microphone. He's a little fella, cute as can be. The bill of his cap is blocking his microphone. Now we've got it down. The batter for Dayton is B.J. Szymanski, and he takes high for ball 2. Well, Kyle Schrader, how old are you, bud?
6.
6. Okay. You go to what school? You remember what school?
Wilkins.
Wilkins. All right. We know a guy there named Mr. Schneekloff. Do you know him? I'm sorry. Yes, Jeff Schneekloff. Do you know him?
No.
Okay. Wilkins is a very good school, and I think he's the principal out there. What grade are you going into?
Kindergarten.
Well, no wonder you don't know him. You haven't been there yet. Here's a swing and a miss by B.J. Szymanski. He took the air out of the stadium. So you go to Wilkins Elementary, Kyle. Is that right?
Yes.
Do you like it?
Yes.
It's a good school, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's in Marion.
Mm-hmm.
B.J. Szymanski, a switch hitter out of Princeton, is ahead on the count 2-1. It's 3-1 Kernels with a runner at first and nobody out. A double play ball, a broken bat liner caught by Andy Hill and throws to first for a double play. B.J. Szymanski was sawed off right on his thumbs. He shattered his bat and hit a 4-foot-high line drive back to Andy Hill. Andy caught it, and Jay Bruce was caught in no man's land between first and second. Bruce was doubled off easily, and there are 2 away here in the Dayton 4th inning. The Kernels lead it 3-1. Kyle Schrader is with us. Swing and a miss by Jovelito Hernandez. And Kyle, you're representing the YMCA. What activities do you enjoy doing at the Y, Kyle?
Well, I like doing the basketball shoot.
Oh, the basketball shoot?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Is that a shooting contest or a game?
It's just a game.
Cool. Do you shoot from the free throw line or layups, or how do you do it?
What? From the free throw line.
Good. Well, you're barely big enough to fit a basketball into your hand. I'm glad you're already playing basketball. It's 0-2 to Jovelito Hernandez. Kyle Schrader is with us from Wilkins Elementary School representing the YMCA. Now, Kyle, did you get to go on the field before the game?
Yeah.
How was it?
Good.
Was it fun?
Uh-huh.
Have you ever been on the professional baseball field here before?
Yeah.
Good. Here's a high, lazy fly ball down the line and left, and it may fall. It does fall fair. Flint Whipke barehands it, throws to second. Flint makes an outstanding play to hold the batter, Jovelito Hernandez, to a long single. Oh, what a play by Flint Whipke. Jovelito Hernandez looked like he took out his 9-iron and golfed one high in the air down the left field line. Whipke went over. It fell on the foul line. I thought it was a double all the way, but Flint barehanded it, threw into the second base bag, and the Kernels hold Jovelito Hernandez to a loft single. As I said, it looked like a 9-iron or pitching wedge off the bat. 1 on, 2 out, and the batter Bobby Mosby. And a base hit, I think. No, a backhanded stop by Stacia. Throw to second. Out at second base. Bobby Mosby had a hit taken away from him on an outstanding backhand play at short by Heinle Stacia. Heinle then threw to second baseman Larry Infante. Larry did his version of a first base stretch, leaning out towards the center field side of the bag, and stayed on the base, according to Brad Perdome, the base umpire. The second outstanding play turned in by slick fielding Colonel All-Star shortstop Heinley Stacia forces Jabalito Hernandez at second, 6-4, and Stacia robbed Bobby Mosby of a base hit. In the fourth inning, 1 run for the Dragons on 3 hits. There were no Colonel errors, and the Dragons leave a runner aboard. They've stranded a pair. Because we have the latitude to do so, we're going to keep it right here with 6-year-old Kyle Schrader. Kyle, there's a cute little girl behind you. Is she related to you?
Yeah.
Who is she?
Nicole.
Nicole, is that your sister or cousin?
Sister.
All right, Nicole, how are you doing, sweetheart? Good, it's nice to see you. And Kyle, is Kevin your father? Is Kevin here?
Mm-hmm.
That's your dad. Well, we're going to have him join us in just a little bit. It's great to have you with us, Kyle. Are you old enough to have a favorite big league team? Who's your favorite team? You know?
The Cardinals.
Mine too. My favorite team's the Cardinals. I grew up a Cardinal fan. Do you like the Cardinals because your dad does, or because you just like their uniforms, or?
Because my dad does.
Cool. Well, that's great. Well, Kevin Schrader, summertime for a 6-year-old should be full of fun. What are you doing this summer to have fun?
We're going to go to Spirit Lake.
You're going to Spirit Lake? What do you do up there?
Well, I'm going to go fishing on a boat.
Oh, Kevin, that is great. You're taking your son fishing? That's wonderful. Off of a boat, not just a dock. Have you ever been fishing? It'll be fun. It'll be fun, Kyle. Your dad will probably show you how to bait the line. And heck, when I was your age, the only thing I got to fish for was bluegill off of a dock, and we use worms for our bait. Are you afraid of worms? You're lucky you're not. I was, so my dad had to bait the hook for me. Kyle Schrader is with us. We'll welcome in his dad after the Colonels bat here in the bottom of the fourth. 3-1 Colonels. Kevin Schrader's from the YMCA. So is his son Kyle. And Kyle, I'm sorry. Nicole is your sister, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Does she go to Wilkins too?
No.
Okay.
Indian Creek.
Indian Creek. Here's a ground by Larry Infante to the shortstop, and Adam Rosales comes straight over the top and wings his throw to first. Larry Infante, leading off the Colonel fourth inning, has wrapped out to shortstop, 1 away here in the Colonel fourth inning. Well, Kyle Schrader, I bet you know how to ride a bike. Do you have a mountain bike or a regular bike?
A regular bike.
Uh-huh. And besides going to Spirit Lake, what else? Do you guys play tag in your neighborhood? Do you rollerblade? Do you have a skateboard? Do you play hide-and-go-seek? What other things do you do during the summer?
We swim.
You swim? Great. Where do you go?
To the Marion Pool.
The Marion Pool. Great. But I think let me turn and say hi to your dad. He's taking some footage as Mark Trumbo fouls one back, and now a strike call to Mark. There you go, Kyle. Your dad was taking he's got a neat home movie camera, and I bet later on this summer or fall you'll enjoy watching your visit here to the broadcast. Kevin Schrader, thank you for taking that footage of your son and I, Kyle. Kevin will be joining us in just a little bit. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. Mark Trumbo is struggling a bit here in the second half. He strikes out swinging, 2 gone here in the Colonel fourth inning. It's 3-1 in favor of the Colonels. Well, Kyle Schrader, what sorts of strokes do you know in the pool? Do you know how to float?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how to hold your breath underwater and blow bubbles?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Do you know how to use a kickboard?
Yes.
Do you know how to do the front crawl yet? How about the backstroke? Okay, but you can float, you can hold your breath underwater, you can use a kickboard.
Mm-hmm.
Are you taking swimming lessons, or did you already know how to swim?
I already know how to swim.
Good, that's great. Dallas Morris hits a towering fly ball into right center, sending B.J. Szymanski drifting to his left. B.J. one-hands it for the out. Dallas Morris flies to center, and the Colonels go in order for the third time in 4 innings. Well, Kyle Schrader, thank you so much for joining us. For a 6-year-old, let me tell you, buddy, you are calm, poised, and you really speak well for a 6-year-old. Kyle, thank you for coming up to visit us. We really appreciate it. Kyle's father, Kevin Schrader, will be joining us when the Dragons bat against Andy Hill in the top of the 5th inning. After 4, it's the Kernels leading the Dragons 3-1. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
This summer, children of all ages will enhance their imaginations through reading thanks to the Summer Reading Program. Toyota Financial Services, The Gazette, Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburgers, and Bloomsbury Farm have teamed up with the Cedar Rapids Kernels, encouraging children to read during the summer. For every 250 minutes a child reads, they will receive a reward to be claimed at the Ben Ritter Diamond Shop at Veterans Memorial Stadium. For every child that reaches 1,000 minutes, they will be invited to the Kernels Reader Recognition Day, Sunday, August 27th. They will receive the autographs of Kernels players on the field. Encourage your child to start reading today, helping them reach their goals for the summer.
Next up, a musical taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a new spin on an old vibe, from me to you. A tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ears, and it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper?
Now that's cool, but pepper is a little better. So let's slide in a taste of this.
I'm a pepper,
Right on. But there's still more to it. I mean, there's nothing like it, because every sip is a kick and mash-up of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more.
I'm a pepper.
You know it. With 23 flavors mixed into one bold taste, every sip is a cool mix of music to your mouth. Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
We go already to the top of the 5th inning. The Kernels struck for 3 with 2 out on a 2-run triple by Flint Whipke, his team-high 7th of the year in the 3rd inning. Then Heinle Stacia followed with a single to left to make it 3-0. The Dragons answered with a leadoff double from Adam Rosales in the 4th off Kernel starter Andy Hill. And then Jay Bruce with his 2nd hit of the night, his 51st RBI of the year, tied the game with a base hit to left. A curveball was over but low, ball 1. To Eric Eyman, E-Y-M-A-N-N. Eyman takes low, ball 2 from Andy Hill. The lights have just been turned on here at Veterans Memorial Stadium on YMCA night, and you're enjoying Kernel Baseball on ESPN Radio 1600, KCRG Cedar Rapids. Here's a high fly ball to straightaway center. Brad Coon drifts back a couple of steps and two-hands it for the first out of the inning. Eric Eyman has flown to center for the 2nd time tonight. 1 away in the Dragon 5th inning, and we welcome from the YMCA Kevin Schrader. Kevin, your son Kyle did a great job. If you could describe to our listeners, he's a left-hander, and what honor did he have tonight?
Well, Kyle was able to throw out the first pitch of the night. It's something that he's been pretty excited to do, and practiced a little bit for that.
You could tell, for a 6-year-old from the rubber, mind you, Kyle heaved it in all the way on the fly to Robert Moose Mosbach, who is the catcher tonight. Kevin Schrader's with us. His daughter Nicole goes to Indian Creek. His son Kyle, 6-year-old Kyle, goes to Wilkins Elementary School. The 1-0 pitch is swung on and missed by Chris Donove, D-O-N-O-V-E. Well, Kevin, the Y continues to be probably one of the top 3 things going in our community. I know I'm a member. I know Bob Carlson well and Eric Peterson. You're a career specialist with the YMCA. Is that right?
Well, I'm actually a volunteer with the Adventure Guides program.
Oh, you're with the Adventure Guides.
Yes.
Wow.
And, the program is a great way to kind of get dads involved with their kids. And
here's a smash into center. Kuhn going back. It may get over his head. It does. Oh, Chris Donove has doubled over the head of Brad Kuhn. Donove speeds into second as Brad retrieves it on the base of the warning track 400 feet away. Chris Donove with his 3rd double of the year hammered it over the head of Brad Kuhn, and that hit for the Dragons is their 5th of the game. They've out-hit us 5-3, but the Kernels lead it 3-1. Well, that's great. What sorts of activities, Kevin Schrader, as an adventure guide leader, do you do with children?
Well, we do something each month. Probably a couple of the biggest activities that we do campouts at Camp Wapsie.
Oh, sure.
The group is split up into the Princesses for girls and the Guides for the boys.
Cool.
And so we do 2 campouts in the spring and 2 in the fall.
At Camp Wapsie.
Yes.
A pitch in the dirt gets away from Madison Edwards. Madison tracks it down in the Dayton on deck circle near their third base dugout, and that may be a pass ball. We'll have to wait and see. Chris Denovi goes to third. Now the Colonel infield may come in for the play at the plate. The pitch was low to Josh Holden, ball one, and the ball seemed to ricochet off Madison Edwards' shin guards. It's a wild pitch, just the third of the season charge to Andy Hill. Now the Dragons will try to make it a one-run game. Colonels lead it here in the fifth, 3-1. And Uncle Charlie, a dandy, is a strike call to Chris Holden, who struck out in the second inning. 3-1 Colonels, top of the fifth. The Colonel infield is in at third. Dallas Morris could come home. So could Heinley Stacia, who's playing about halfway at shortstop. Holden, a left-handed batter, cracks his bat, and a base hit into right over the head of Mark Trumbo down the line, and Stantrell Smith throws to second, not in time. A broken bat double for the hustling Josh Holden. Josh Holden makes it a one-run Colonel lead. He broke his bat, but was strong enough to lift it over the head of Mark Trumbo, and down the line and right it went. Josh Holden sped into second with an RBI double. Tying run at second, one out, and the Dragons are threatening to tie the game here in the fifth inning. The Colonel lead has been whittled to one run, 3-2. Well, Kevin Schrader, your campouts with the adventure guides and princesses, what do they consist of at Camp Wapsie? What sorts of skills are you building, or is it just plain old fun?
Well, of course, we have a lot of fun out there, but we're also trying to strengthen the ties between the father and the child. And, there's several things that we do out there. Some of the activities.
Here's a ground ball up the middle. Stacia gliding to his left, has it, throws the batter out. Heinley took a run away from the Dragons as Mike Griffin hit a sharp ground ball past the mound. Heinley Stacia roamed far to his left, went down, picked it, threw out Griffin, 2 away. Josh Holden went to third. Tying run at third, 2 out, 3-2 Colonels. The batter Adam Rosales, who led off the fourth inning with a double over the head of Brad Kuhn and scored. Well, Kevin Schrader will keep telling us about the wonderful activities of the adventure guides and the adventure princesses. I can see why bonding between father and son or father and daughter would be a prime purpose of the campouts, Kevin. And do you actually throw tents, or are there cabins out at Camp Wapsie?
They have some heated cabins. Nice facilities out there, and they're actually, I know, in the process of starting a capital campaign to get some improvements done. But it's a great facility out there, and so we will enjoy using that.
Heated cabins, that means you could be there in the winter or fall.
Oh, yes.
A high pop foul drifting towards the plaza section, the Papa John's Plaza, and it's 2 balls, 1 strike to Adam Rosales. Kevin, I'm sorry, the microphones are slipping a little bit this time of year. If you could, there you go, that's perfect, thank you. Now, your son, Kyle, said you're going to go on vacation and fish. Is there any fishing at Camp Wapsie?
There is fishing. There's we also do canoeing. You can actually do both. You can fish off the canoe.
Cool. Here's a line drive into shallow center. It'll fall to tie the game. A base hit off the end of the bat by Adam Rosales. The Colonel 3-0 lead has been erased by the Dragons, who score their second run here in the fifth inning to tie it 3-3. Adam Rosales poked it off the end of the bat and dumped it in front of Brad Kuhn. A 2-out single to score Josh Holden, and we're tied 3-3. How about things, Kevin Schrader, like archery or map reading or cooking out, other activities at Camp Wapsie?
Oh yeah, the campfire is a big hit out there. Archery, certainly they do. There's also they do a rifle shoot.
Sure.
But then there's football toss, there's frisbee golf, all kinds of things.
Tiger, hold on, Kevin. I heard Kyle, but I didn't hear him clearly enough out at Camp Wapsie. There's ball 2, low and outside to Jay Bruce. Andy Hill is struggling a bit, giving up 7 hits, and he has given up a 3-run lead. The Dragons have tied it here in the fifth inning, 3-3. Jay Bruce, who's 2 for 2, is ahead in the count, 2-0. And a strike on the outside corner. Kevin, what was Kyle? I'm sorry, ball 3 outside. What was Kyle mentioning?
What was that again?
A tiger walk? Yes. At Camp Wapsie. All right. The 3-0 pitch is a changeup on the outside corner for a strike. Well, Kevin Schrader, how can interested families, parents sign their kids up to be in adventure guides or adventure princesses?
Well, we're having our recruiting night starting in August. We have a website, MarionAdventureGuides.org. There's also a phone number that you can find on that website to contact me if interested.
Oh.
Or show up at one of our recruiting nights, which are also posted on that website.
And your next one's in August?
Yes, the last Monday of August. It's August 28th.
Jay Bruce, a bouncer cut off by Larry Infante, who throws out Bruce. A 3-1 pitch, and Jay Bruce grounds out on one hop to Larry Infante, who spun in shallow right field and whirled and threw to get the batter. The Dragons strike for 2 runs to tie the game in the 5th inning on 3 hits. There were no Colonel errors, and Dayton leaves 1 man aboard. We're going to keep it right here throughout the break between the top and bottom of the 5th innings and continue to visit with Kevin Schrader, who represents the Adventure Guides and Princesses for the YMCA. I think you said Monday, Kevin, August 28th?
Yes, August 28th at 7 o'clock is our first recruiting night of the year, and that's at the Marion YMCA. Then there's also one the next night at Bowman Woods at the same time, 7 o'clock. And on August 30th, we have one at Indian Creek at 7 o'clock. And then we do have one after the Swamp Fox Parade because we hand out a lot of flyers there. So that's on September 12th at the Marion Library at 7 o'clock.
Now, Kevin, when you say recruiting, what's the name of the function, recruiting?
Oh, just the recruiting night that we have. So
what are they for?
Well, we're trying to get the word out to kids that are in either AK, alternative kindergarten, or kindergarten that can join the program because it's for like AK through 3rd grade.
Okay.
So we lose people every year, and when they graduate after they're done with 3rd grade, and so we're always looking to replenish that each year. So,
boy, that's a fun age to work with too.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. The kids have a great time. We have activities each month. And we also we have derby car races. That's probably one of our second biggest function we do, and that's in March. Everybody has a good time with that. There's also sporting events, like right now we're at the Kernels game. We'll have a Hawkeye game outing in October.
You'll actually go to a Hawkeye football game?
Yeah, we're planning on going to a Hawkeye game. But also we have a winter party that we do out at Squaw Creek in January.
The Nature Center? Or the park?
At the Squaw Creek Park.
Yes.
So just different things each month, so we have a great time.
Man, Kevin, I have a little brother in Big Brothers Big Sisters. His name is Logan Clark. He's 6 years old. So in theory, he could come to one of the recruiting nights.
Yes. Yeah, we'd love to have. And it's, if you're in 1st or 2nd grade, we'll take them as well. They don't have to be in kindergarten. So
that's super. Man. Madison Edwards, who started the Colonel 3-run 3rd inning by singling to right, takes a strike called from Robert Manuel. We're all tied, 3-3 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Madison swings hard and misses, strike 2. Colonel scored 3 in the bottom of the 3rd. The Dragons answered with a single tally in the top of the 4th, 2 in the top of this 5th inning to tie it. And the Dragons have out-hit it 7-3. They've made 2 errors. And there's ball 1 outside to the left-handed batter, Madison Edwards. I'm not sure what Dayton's second error was, but I'll try to find out. There's ball 2 in the dirt. Oh, I know. They had 2 errors in the 3rd inning. An error by their shortstop on a ball that Brad Kuhn reached on, and then an error on a throw to second by their catcher, Kristen Ovey. Swing and a miss by Madison, and that strikeout is the 3rd of the evening for right-hander Robert Manuel. And then, Kevin Schrader, what if a father or mom is interested in being an adventure guide or adventure princess leader?
Well, best thing is we have circles, small groups that we have in each section. There's about 20 different circles for the guides and 20 for the princesses.
Okay.
If they are interested in volunteering, they can just either let me know or they can go onto the website, and we're looking for adults all the time to come on and volunteer. So.
That's neat. That's one of the great things about the YMCA is it really does bring families together for new and memorable fun experiences. And Kevin Schrader represents the Adventure Guides and Princesses very well. Stantrell Smith is ahead 2-0. Stantrell was caught looking for strike 3 in the third inning. Number 9 hitter in the Colonel order, Stantrell Smith. And he tomahawks it was a 1-1 count. He tomahawks the pitch high and foul onto the grandstand roof. 1-2 to Stantrell Smith. 3-3 our score. And we're in the top of the 5th inning here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, where Kevin Schrader is with us from the YMCA. Kevin volunteers as a adventure guide leader for the Y. Stantrell plugs the next pitch foul over the backstop. It remains 1-2 to Smith. Well, Kevin, you have some neat literature there. Oh, it's called the Adventure Guide Calendar, and it has some of those neat events that you highlighted, so parents can plan ahead, right?
Yes.
Looks like you're a year ahead.
Yeah, we try to get the calendar out certainly by August.
And that's important.
Yes, and some of the officers have seen it already, and we're looking at about 35 to 40 leaders each year to take on these circles.
Yeah. Boy, that's great to know that there's a need. Stantrell Smith drives one deep into right center. B.J. Szymanski pedals back and makes the catch. Stantrell got good wood on it, but flies out to right center for the second out of the Colonel 5th inning. And that is now 6 straight set down by right-hander Robert Manuel. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning, and it's the Colonels 3, the Dragons 3. Well, Kevin Schrader looking for that many adults. Does the adult have to have a kid in the program?
They do, yes.
Sure, that makes sense.
So they're in together, and a lot of times these adults will have more than one kid.
Sure, they might have a couple.
Yeah.
Now, is Nicole a princess, or is she too old?
She is graduated last year.
Great.
So she's just finished 4th grade.
Yeah. How did she like it?
Oh, I think she had a great time.
Good.
I think she was sorry to see it come to an end.
Sure.
We do have another program, though, for the older kids.
Oh.
The Trail Guides.
Trail Guides, okay.
And that's generally for kids 4th through 7th grade. It's not as large. It's maybe 3 to 4 dozen kids.
Well, that sounds like fun. A 2-0 pitch is sliced foul into the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion down the left field line. Strike 1 to Brad Kuhn. The Colonels, or the Dragons, have a big right-hander up in their bullpen. I mean big. He looks about 6'10", a right-hander warming up for Dayton. So this may be the last inning of work for Robert Manuel, who is making only his 4th start of the year. Manuel from Sam Houston State is a Texan. And he misses high. Ball 3 to Brad Kuhn. It's 3-1 now to the Colonel leadoff batter, who has popped to second. Reached on an error by the shortstop Adam Rosales and scored. Brad Kuhn on a 3-1 delivery. Pops it up. This will end the inning. It's a fair ball right behind third base, and it's caught 4 steps behind the bag to end the inning by Eric Eyman. Brad Kuhn is popped to third. To end the 5th inning, the Colonels go in order. Well, Kevin Schrader, how about if we have one more half inning to visit with you, or are your kids getting restless? It's up to you.
No, I think that'd be great.
Okay, me too, and I know our listeners would enjoy it. We go to the top of the 6th inning. We'll have our Springhouse trivia question for you in the bottom of the 6th. We'll have another half inning to visit with Kevin Schrader, representing the YMCA Adventure Guides and Adventure Princesses here tonight. After 5, Colonels 3, and the Dragons 3. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
We're here for your communication needs. Internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners. We make a good team. Service second to none. South Slope Cooperative Communication.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles, backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odyssey.
Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
We go to the top of the 6th inning, and we're all tied at 3. The Kernels led 3-0 with a 3-run third, but the Dragons tied it with a run in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, and Andy Hill is set to face the number 4 hitter, the cleanup batter for the Dragons, switch hitting B.J. Szymanski, and he wraps one off the mound up the middle. Heinley Stacia moves quickly to his left and throws from behind second base to retire B.J. Szymanski. B.J. Szymanski swung at the first pitch to open up the Dragons' 6th inning, and he rolls out up the middle to Heinley Stacia. The tall right-hander warming up in the bullpen for Dayton is Logan Ondrusek. Logan Ondrusek is warming up. Beautiful changeup from Andy Hill, a strike to Jabalito Hernandez. Kevin Schrader is with us from the YMCA. He volunteers for the Adventure Guides, and there's strike 2 called. Another changeup from Andy Hill. Jabalito Hernandez, a tall right-handed batter, steps out. Hernandez tonight is flown to left, to deep left, and single to left field. Jabalito reaches out and pops one foul into the first base stands to stay in the hole 0-2. Well, Kevin Schrader, what other facts or notes should you share with our listeners about your fabulous cause or organization, the Adventure Guides and Princesses Through the Y?
Well, just always looking to have more people. It's just it's a great time. We have other activities that we like to do, and each little circle or small group that has between like 10 and 20 people, they also do their own get-togethers each month where they'll do a craft and maybe have a snack and just have some bonding amongst themselves.
So it sounds very low-key. Here's a curveball, and it's hoisted into center. Brad Kuhn's been a busy man, and Brad takes a few steps back and puts it away. Jabalito Hernandez flies to center. 2 gone. You mentioned getting together for refreshments or a craft or maybe to play a game. Kevin Schrader, those are the kind of things that, and it's nothing against high technology, the computer, the internet, the iPods, the cable vision. That's nothing against those, but those can permeate a kid's life to the point where the kid becomes a cocoon.
Right, yeah, we think it's important to actually get together and have the time, one-on-one with both your friends or with your dad, or your kids, and just to be able to do some things where some physical activities, just doing things together.
Yes.
Together. For example, we'll carve pumpkins together in the fall. When we take those to our camp out. So things like that we do.
No kid will ever forget getting to carve a pumpkin. That's fun.
No, that is a lot of fun. So that's something we enjoy. We take them out to our fall camp out, and we have a contest. So it's a great time.
Bobby Mosby on a 2-1 delivery from Andy Hill takes it low. Mosby is built like a Mack truck, 6'1", 290. His legs are as thick as tree trunks. Bobby with a wide stance. Points his elbow high back towards the screen. Mosby hits a high pop foul, drifting towards the tarp down the left field line. And Dallas Morris climbs the tarp, but it's caught by a fan in the first tier of the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion. That was some grab by that fan who has earned himself a lifetime honorary Colonel contract and a free spaghetti dinner to Zio Giano's. It's a full count now to Bobby Mosby. The Rockwell Collins Game Link is showing the replay of Dallas Morris climbing the tarp and then showing the fellow that caught it on the fly. Mosby on a payoff pitch from Hill. Swats it in the air to deep right center. Way back, Brad Kuhn camped underneath it now, and Brad has it. How many putouts for the Colonel center fielder tonight? 1, 2, 3, 4 putouts for Brad Kuhn. Down in order go the Dragons in the top of the 6th inning. Well, Kevin Schrader, on behalf of the Kernels and our community, thank you for all the great work you do as a guide for the Adventure Guides and Princesses, And thank you for sharing with our listeners how they might want to join either as an adult, a family, or sign their kid up.
So I appreciate that. And again, the website is MarionAdventureGuides.org. MarionAdventureGuides.org. Yes.
Kevin, enjoy the rest of this ball game with your adventure guides and your daughter Nicole and your son Kyle. They were very well behaved.
Well, thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Kevin Schrader with us during the broadcast. He's headed out in just a moment to enjoy the rest of the game from down below. A new pitcher comes on for the Dragons. We'll tell you about him in a moment. Right now, a break. After 5.5, we're squared off with the Dragons 3-3. Remember, our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question is coming your way in a moment as well. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Whether you're a serious athlete or a weekend warrior, injuries can take you out of your game. Smart athletes know that Physiotherapy Associates in Cedar Rapids are the experts in the treatment and prevention of sport-related injuries. Our expert staff serves the metro and surrounding area high school athletes. Physiotherapy Associates of Cedar Rapids, the smart choice in sports medicine. Call us at 398-1569. That's 398-1569. We'll get you back in your game today.
Training and the highest quality craftsmanship in the world are two hallmarks of union workers. Prospective construction clients can depend on workers who have learned their craft and mastered their skills through the Cedar Rapids Iowa City Building Trades and Construction Council world-class apprenticeship program. These experienced tradesmen will work with sign contractors to bring flexibility, efficiency, safety, and the highest skill and quality in the world to all building and construction projects. Eastern Iowa works best when we say union, yes.
Technology pervades every aspect of our daily lives. This remarkable age we live in has a machine or a computer to meet almost all of our needs. But you won't find a technological device that can provide you with the personal attention for something as important as insurance. Neighbor Insurance Services, your professional Pekin insurance agency in Hiawatha, is trained on all insurance matters, including how much coverage is enough coverage. For personal attention to all of your insurance needs, see the insurance professionals at Neighbor Insurance Services in Hiawatha.
A 6'8" right-hander takes over for the Dragons in the 6th inning. Bottom of the 6th, no score, and the right-hander is even on the count 1-1 to Flint Whipke. Well, we had a movie made here over the break, and some of our things were rifled through, so here's a high pop fly into shallow right, and Flint Whipke is retired on a pop fly to shallow right. One away here in the 6th inning. The new pitcher for Dayton is a right-hander, Logan Ondrusek, Ondrusek. We're going to hold off and give you the Springhouse trivia question in the top of the 7th inning due to some missing materials unexpectedly that we thought would be here. But there were hundreds of people in this stadium filming a movie, and perhaps in some of the things they had to move, the important information was misplaced. I'm sure that's the case, and we'll try to track it down. But we'll have our Springhouse trivia question for you in the 7th inning. Boy, this Ondrusek throws hard. He's 6'8". Logan Ondrusek out of McClellan Community College down in Texas. 6'8", 210 pounds. The starter, Robert Manuel, went 5 innings for Dayton, allowed 3 runs on only 3 hits. All 3 Kernel runs were unearned. He struck out 3, and Manuel walked none. The 6'8" right-hander brings it. And a tap to second. Heinle Stacia will be retired by Mike Griffin. It goes 4-3. 2 out here in the Kernel 6th inning. We'll have our Springhouse trivia question for you, regardless if we can't find our notes on the Springhouse. Again, we just had so many people in this booth. I spent 2.5 hours this morning from midnight until 2:30 this morning cleaning the 2 broadcast booths because the movie folk don't live by quite the same credo us normal folk do. And when I enter a broadcast booth, I try to leave it the way I found it. And the movie folks did the best they could to get out of Dodge before we had to come back in, and we welcome them. They did a great job here, and they were very, very good guests. A tap back to the mound, and the 6'8" right-hander throws out Jordan Renz. Jordan's nothing for 3, and the Kernels go quickly and in order in the bottom of the 6th inning at the hands of the new pitcher, 6'8" right-hander Logan Ondrusek. We'll have our Springhouse trivia question for you in the top of the 7th inning. After 6, it's the Kernels 3 and the Dragons 3. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
In today's work world, knowledge is power. Training for modern job skills is opportunity and security. And you have one of the best choices for your future right here in Eastern Iowa. It's Kirkwood. Kirkwood Community College offers over 100 degree programs to give you new job opportunities or a smart start on your college path. Find out more today. Call Kirkwood Admissions, 398-5517. Kirkwood, start here, go anywhere.
Hi, I'm Papa John's. When I say better ingredients, better pizza, I'm not talking about a little better. I'm talking about a lot better. Let's talk about our pizza sauce. It's made from fresh, fine-ripened tomatoes, not from concentrate. But when it comes to ingredients, we select from the world's best. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. A lot better.
Call your neighborhood Papa John's today and ask for the Home Run Special, a large, thin, or original crust pizza with up to 3 toppings for $10.99. Just $10.99.
Great teams consist of diverse talent. Rockwell Collins understands this and is committed to developing diversity in our community. We recognize that our leadership in the aviation and communications electronics industry hinges on attracting and retaining a diverse workforce. And we're working with other Iowa companies to create an environment that nurtures diversity. Rockwell Collins. Different thinking makes us great. Great thinking makes us different.
We have a U.S. Cellular call to the Kernel bullpen. Daniel Hawkins takes over for the Kernels. Andy Hill went 6 innings, surrendered just 3 runs on 7 hits. Andy struck out 1, walked none. He cannot win his 3rd game of the year. He cannot lose his 5th. This game will be decided by one of the bullpen core. And Daniel Hawkins is on the mound now. Daniel pitched in 4 games before he was promoted to Rancho Cucamonga. And this is his 2nd appearance for the Kernels. He comes straight over the top with the fastball high. Ball 1 to Eric Iman. This call to the Kernel bullpen is sponsored by U.S. Cellular. Get your wireless relief with Call Me Minutes only from U.S. Cellular. And we'll have our Springhouse trivia question for you in just a moment. If you've been one of our 35 previous Springhouse trivia question winners, congratulations. Please don't call in tonight. Well, that'll give another Kernel fan their fair chance at a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse. A 2-1 pitch from Dan Hawkins, the 23-year-old tall right-hander, is a strike call to Iman. Now ball 3, low and outside. 3-3 the score. We're in the top of the 7th inning. Again, if you've already won the Springhouse trivia question, please play along wherever you're tuned in, but don't call in tonight. Ball 4, inside. Daniel Hawkins walks. The first man he faces, Eric Iman, here in the 7th inning. That brings in Chris Denovi. Denovi doubled and scored in the Dragon 2-run 5th inning. Again, the final line on Andy Hill. 6 innings pitched. He allowed 3 runs on 7 hits. Struck out 1, walked none. Let's see if Denovi is bunting. Luvita Hill will tell you about 2 of the newest exciting features or attractions at the Springhouse.
That's right. At the Springhouse, you can get their lunch or dinner buffet Monday through Friday. The lunch buffet is $5.95 and the dinner buffet is $6.95, and they both feature a salad bar.
That's right. Soup and salad bar included. Denovi with a bunt, and it's a good one to the right of the mound. Daniel Hawkins gloves it and throws softly to Mark Trumbo. A walk and a sacrifice bunt by Chris Denovi, and the Dragons have the go-ahead run at second with 1 out in this 3-3 game. We'll take it away, Luvita Hill, with our Springhouse trivia question.
All right. The Reds' Adam Dunn posted his 2nd straight 100 RBI season last year. That's something no Cincinnati player has done since who in 1985 and 1986. The number to call to answer this question, 896-7589.
896-7589.
896-7589.
Here's a drive into the left field corner. It's foul. Flip Whipke diving or sliding feet first into the corner, and he couldn't get it. It's a foul ball. Strike 1 on Josh Holden. The phone is already ringing for our Springhouse Trivia question. I'll repeat the question here in a moment, Luvita. You did a great job. The Reds' Adam Dunn posted his second straight 100 RBI season last season. That's something no Cincinnati player has done since who did it in 1985 and 1986. 896-7589. 896-7589. 896-7589. Your chance to earn a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse Family Restaurant. Daniel Hawkins misses outside, and it's 1-1 to Josh Holden. Luvita will do her best to remember some of these guesses and write them down so we can share them with you and eliminate them from your thought process. We'll repeat the question in just a moment. Here's a tap to the right side, and Daniel Hawkins can't get it. Mark Trumbo barehands it. It's an infield single for Josh Holden. Holden topped one softly to the right of the mound. Daniel Hawkins flashed in front of it, covering first base. Mark Trumbo went to his knees and barehanded it. All Mark could do was to take a bite out of it, and it's first and third, only one out here in the Dayton seventh inning. All right, we've had guesses of Ken Griffey Jr. and Tony Perez. Very good guesses, but not correct. The Reds' Adam Dunn posted his second straight 100 RBI season last season. That's something no Cincinnati player has done since who in 1985 and 1986. Not Ken Griffey, not Tony Perez, but I think we have a winner in our Springhouse Trivia question. First and third. Now, wait a minute. We may have a winner. Mike Griffin is the batter. And he takes low for ball one. No, it is not Johnny Bench. It is not Johnny Bench. No, it is not Johnny Bench, Ken Griffey Jr., or Tony Perez. We'll repeat the question. In fact, Luvita, I'm going to take the phone off the hook for a moment. I'm going to have you... Whoops, wait a minute. It just rang again. My goodness. Unbelievable. Nobody's been able to come up with the Springhouse Trivia question yet. We'll add a fourth name to the list that you... Uh-oh, another phone call for the Springhouse Trivia question. Josh Holden is at first. Eric Iman, the go-ahead run at third. First and third, one out here in the top of the seventh inning. A shot into left field for extra bases. Coming home is Eric Iman to make it 4-3. Racing to third is Josh Holden. He'll stop there on a double by Mike Griffin. And it's 4-3 Dayton. The Dragons take the lead on a hot shot double that skipped by Flint Whipke off the base of the Randy Kehl-Hoffman's Picnic Pavilion. The Dragons lead it now 4-3. A walk to lead the inning off, a sacrifice bunt, an infield single, and Mike Griffin with his 24th double of the year ripped it to the left or to the right of Flint Whipke for a base hit. We're going to have a list of at least 8 Cincinnati Reds who did not drive in 100 runs back-to-back in 85 and 86. That list keeps growing so much that we're going to take the phone off the hook and cool you off a bit. We're going to give you all the incorrect answers to the Springhouse Trivia question. All right, here we go. You can eliminate all of these Cincinnati Reds, and then we'll give you a hint. Great guesses so far, but no right answers. We've taken the phone off the hook due to the extraordinary response. A ground ball to third. Dallas Morris holds the runner at third and throws out Adam Rosales. Big second out of the inning by Dan Hawkins, who's given up the go-ahead run on a walk and 2 hits here in the 7th inning. Adam Rosales with the infield in wrapped it to Dallas Morris, who threw the first for the second out of the inning. Now let's see if the Kernels walk Jay Bruce. I'm going to have Luvita Hill repeat the Springhouse Trivia question, and then I'll read all the answers that are great guesses but incorrect so far to the Springhouse Trivia question.
Here goes. The Reds' Adam Dunn posted his second straight 100 RBI season last season. That's something no Cincinnati player has done since who in 1985 and 1986.
I'm going to read all the great answers we've got, none correct, and then I'll give you a hint to help you earn that $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse. The 1-0 to Jay Bruce in the dirt, ball 2. The Kernels might just well walk him because they're trying to pitch around him. All right. The answer is not Ken Griffey Jr., Tony Perez, Pete Rose, Johnny Bench, Barry Larkin, or Eric Davis. Again, eliminate Eric Davis, Barry Larkin, Johnny Bench, Pete Rose, Ken Griffey Jr., and Tony Perez. The hint, this fella had his greatest years as a Pittsburgh Pirate. Left-handed power hitter. This fella had his greatest years before he was a Cincinnati Red as a Pittsburgh Pirate. Another incorrect answer, but we'll share that one with you. Swing and a miss by Jay Bruce on a changeup. Let's add that incorrect answer to our list, the growing list, for the Springhouse Trivia question. It is not Joe Morgan, but we have a correct answer, I think. Boy, the Reds had so many great players. That's why it's a very tough answer to the Springhouse Trivia question. Dan Hawkins pulls the string on Jay Bruce, and Bruce swings and misses, strike two. Dan Hawkins pitched a third of an inning Monday night in Burlington, and he gave up a run on 3 hits, struck out none, walked none, in a B 2-1 win over the Kernels. Daniel Hawkins with runners at second and third and 2 out, the 2-2. Bruce bounces it to the right side. Larry Infante has it. Throws out Jay Bruce. Big out. As Daniel Hawkins prevents the Dragons from doing further harm here in the 7th inning. For Dayton, 1 run on 2 hits, a leadoff walk. What cost the Kernels the lead? A leadoff walk, of all things. There were no Kernel errors, and the Dragons leave a pair. They've left 5. Lindale Dental Care is proud to present the 7th inning stretch and the singing of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Let's listen in for a moment. Here we go to the home half of the 7th. It's now Dayton leading the Kernels 4-3, and you're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Phil Andrews, your local Pekin Insurance agent at Andrews Insurance here in Cedar Rapids. Even though we all do our best to stay healthy, we can never anticipate when an illness or accident might strike. Couple that reality with rising medical costs, and the importance of a top-notch medical plan becomes clear. Pekin Insurance offers a wide choice of deductibles and a non-tobacco user discount. To explore the major medical insurance plan that best fits you, visit me, Phil Andrews, at Andrews Insurance.
Hi, this is Dave Town with Five Seasons Transportation and Parking. Do you ever wonder if it's safe to send your child on the bus? It is, and here's a few reasons why. All the buses in Cedar Rapids are equipped with security cameras, so the drivers always know what's happening behind them. The buses also have global positioning systems, or GPS, which means they can be tracked at any time by satellite. Does that surprise you? It shouldn't. Five Seasons Transportation takes safety very seriously, and we've taken many steps to make sure your child will have a safe, easy ride every time they take the bus. Even when your child isn't on the bus, Five Seasons Transportation is helping keep them safe by using pollution-free biodiesel and alcohol fuels, Iowa products that help keep the air clean. And if your child is ever in trouble, they can always flag down a bus for help. I'm Dave Town, and I like to think of the bus as a traveling safety cocoon, motoring along Cedar Rapids streets. And keep in mind, if the bus is that safe and easy for your child, maybe you should think about riding the bus to work. Affordable, convenient, and safe. That's the bus. Ride it.
Good news, we have a winner, and thanks to everyone. We had 8 different callers in our Springhouse Trivia question tonight, and we have a winner. Luvita Hill, broadcast assistant, will repeat the question, share the answer that our winner gave, and congratulate our winner as Larry Infante takes a letter-high fastball from 6'8" right-hander Logan Ondrusek, strike 1. 4-3 in favor of Dayton. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. And Larry taps one to second. This will be a 2-hopper, gloved by Mike Griffin on to first, and one away here in the Kernel 7th inning. The Kernels haven't had a base runner since an RBI single by Heinle Stacia back in the 3rd inning. That's how futile our offense, or how it's thawed, or how it's frozen up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 straight Kernels have been retired in this game. Colonel broadcast assistant Luvita Hill, let's get back to that Springhouse trivia question that had a flood of calls coming in. Those are the fun ones, aren't they, Luvita?
No, that was fun. I had fun. Here goes the question. The Reds' Adam Dunn posted his 2nd straight 100 RBI season last season. That's something no Cincinnati player has done since who in 1985 and 1986? The correct answer was Dave Parker, and congratulations to Gary Moore from Cedar Rapids.
What's Gary earned himself?
Gary's earned himself a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse.
Way to go, Gary Moore. Here's a comebacker, a broken bat off the bat of Trumbo, and underhanding it to first is the pitcher, Ondrusek. Mark Trumbo has broken his bat and bounced out to the hill. 2 away here in the Kernels' 7th inning, 4-3 Dayton. And the Kernels still looking for their first base runner since Heinley Statia's opposite field RBI single following a Flint Whippy 2-run triple back in the 3rd. The Kernels have not had a base runner since. And thanks to everyone who called in. Man, we have a lot of knowledgeable Red fans out there. And they all seem to call in at once. Luvita was glad to take the calls, so were we to have them. Boy, we had some great guesses. Dave Parker, does it say how many RBIs, Luvita, he had in 85 and 86?
He had 125 RBIs in 85 and 116 in 86.
And who again knew that?
Gary Moore out of Cedar Rapids.
Way to go, Gary Moore. Swinging a foul back by Dallas Morris, who's nothing for 2. 1-1 the count to Dallas. 6'8" right-hander Logan Ondrusek in relief of starter Robert Manuel. Working here in the bottom of the 7th, 4-3 Dayton. They've out-hit us 9-3. Ball 2 low to Dallas. The Kernels are hitting .234 as a team. That's 12th in the 14-team Midwest League. But we're hitting 10 points higher here at home, .244. Right-hander Robert Romero is warming up in the Kernel bullpen. Ball 3 in the dirt, and Dallas Morris is ahead now in the count, 3-1. Well, again, thank you to everyone who called for the Springhouse Trivia question. That was something to receive that many calls in such a short period of time. Dave Parker, the Cobra, the last Cincinnati Red to drive in 100 runs in back-to-back years since Adam Dunn, or before Adam Dunn did it last year and in 2004. A 2-out walk drawn by Dallas Morris, and that usually results in trouble. Dallas Morris took ball 4 outside. Dallas is the first Kernel to reach since Heinley Statius singled in a run to make it 3-0 Kernels back in the 3rd inning. Robert Romero looks like he'll take over on the mound. Kernel assistant Sonia Massey is dripping in sweat just like all of us are. Sonia had to work hard with the Cost Cutters Dream Team as well as surveys, plus she went out on my behalf onto the Miller Mezzanine Terrace and took pictures of the 275 folks that are visiting from Holmes Murphy. Sonia, thank you so much. Boy, you've worked hard tonight. Madison Edwards swings and misses. Madison singled and scored in the Kernel 3-run 3rd. Morris leading away at first, draws a throw. Dallas back before Jabalito Hernandez could tag him. Halo happenings, we barely got started with those earlier. Salt Lake is now 47-32. They beat Colorado Springs 9-3. Howie Kendrick hit his 12th home run for AAA Salt Lake. Went 2 for 5, drove in 2 runs. Jeff Mathis, former Kernel, was 2 for 4 with an RBI. 0-2 as Madison Edwards went around on a Logan Ondrusek changeup. Arkansas, the AA affiliate of the Angels, behind former Kernel Bill Edwards. He picked up his 7th win in relief as Arkansas beat Corpus Christi 4-3. Former Kernel All-Star shortstop Brandon Wood was 3 for 4 for Arkansas with an RBI, and former Kernel third baseman Matt Brown, an All-Star, 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs for Arkansas. Rancho Cucamonga is still on their All-Star break. Here's the 0-2 to Edwards instead of throw to first, and Dallas Morris gets back safely. Former Colonel Tyler Johnson was 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs as Orem beat Ogden 10-7. How about Tyler Johnson doing so well in rookie ball? He struggled here. A pitch out, and that's ball 1 to Madison Edwards, holding at first, Dallas Morris. Tyne run at first, 2 out, bottom of the 7th inning. Colonels trail by a run, 4-3. Halo happenings, results from around the Angel organization. The 1-2, up and away, a delayed steal try, and Dallas Morris makes it! Dallas Morris with a daring delayed steal beat the throw by Chris Denovi, the shortstop. Adam Rosales was late covering, and that's a big stolen base for Dallas Morris. A 2-out walk and a 2-strike delayed steal by Dallas Morris. That's his 10th theft of the year. And now a base hit by Madison Edwards could tie this game. A base hit by Madison Edwards could tie this game here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The 2-2 to Madison. Low, ball 3. This right-hander, Logan Ondrusek, throws hard. Boy, an ominous sign down below. A fella's wearing a T-shirt that says Crime Scene Unit. Wait a minute, I'm not sure who it is. It must be an off-duty police officer. There's a fella down behind the backstop that's wearing a shirt that says Crime Scene Unit. And that you usually see that on shows like, I can't remember the popular show that everybody watches on NBC. The payoff pitch, a high fly ball way back and right by Madison Edwards, and it is caught on the run by Jay Bruce deep into right center. Jay Bruce makes a game-saving catch as he went way back deep into right center to rob Madison Edwards of an extra base hit. Madison Edwards hit a towering deep fly ball into right center. Jay Bruce had to go way back, angling towards the infield. He made a basket catch to rob Madison Edwards of what would have been a game-tying triple. No runs in the 7th inning for the Kernels. No hits, a walk, a stolen base. There were no Dragonaires, and the Kernels leave one man on. Just our second stranded of the ball game. After 7, it's Dayton 4, the Kernels 3. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odyssey. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
When you're in the market to buy or sell a home, how can you differentiate one realtor from another? The distinction is clear when you consider the remarkable offer that Dick Ramsey of Skogman Realty makes. Dick Ramsey's offer is unprecedented. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes, and Dick Ramsey will buy yours. That extraordinary pledge bears instant replay. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes, and Dick Ramsey will buy yours. For the best home buying or home selling experience in Cedar Rapids, turn to the home team. Skogman Realty's Dick Ramsey.
Sorry, we're a bit late getting back. We were looking at the season line for Robert Romero, who's answered a U.S. Cellular call to the Colonel bullpen here in the top of the 8th inning. Can't wait to hear the attendance. We have a big crowd on hand here tonight to see the Kernels and Dragons play the first game of a 4-game series. Daniel Hawkins went 1 inning, allowed 1 run on 2 hits, struck out none, walked 1. And ball 1 is outside from the new Colonel pitcher, Robert Romero, to B.J. Szymanski. This call to the Colonel bullpen brought to you by U.S. Cellular. Get your wireless relief with Call Me Minutes only from U.S. Cellular. Robert Romero took the loss Monday night in Burlington. He went a third of an inning, gave up a run in the bottom of the 9th inning on 2 hits, struck out none, walked none. And a 2-0 pitch is swung on and missed by the cleanup batter, who's 0 for 3 tonight. B.J. Szymanski. Robert Romero, a 21-year-old right-hander from Grayson Community College in Texas, holds his glove right up in front of his face, thrusts his arms down, and the 2-1 is over the head of Madison Edwards, ball 3. Colonel broadcast assistant Luvita Hill, Robert Romero's numbers.
With the 0-3 record, Romero starting his 18th game, and his ERA is .426. He's pitched 19 innings. He's had 13 players hit against him. He's walked 11. He struck out 15, and the league is batting .203 against him.
All right, thank you, Levita. Ball 4 to B.J. Szymanski. So both Dan Hawkins and Robert Romero out of the Colonel bullpen in relief of Andy Hill walk the first men they face, and that's something you cannot afford to do. Jabalito Hernandez, 1 for 3 tonight, steps in, and ball 1 in the dirt. A good stop by Madison Edwards. And here comes Kernan Ronan. Kernan Ronan is going to have a heart-to-heart conversation with Colonel right-hander Robert Romero, and it's sponsored by Mercy Medical Center, this heart-to-heart conversation.
You owe it to yourself and the people who love you to find out your risk of heart disease with a $35 heart-to-heart screening from Mercy Medical Center. It's quick, easy, and convenient, and it could save your life. Call Mercy today at 398-6821.
And this heart-to-heart conversation between Kernan Ronan and Madison Edwards. Kernan puts his arm on both Madison and Robert Romero's shoulders. It's 4-3 Dayton. We're in the top of the 8th inning. The Dragons have a runner at first with 1 out here in the top of the 8th inning. Colonel broadcast assistant Luvita Hill. Jack Rader is very excited about Monday, July 3rd. The Kernels will be wearing special jerseys that day. And what time does the game start, and what is the promotion?
Monday, July 3rd, the game starts at 2 o'clock. Gates open at 1. The Kernels will be wearing 1906 Bunnies uniforms, which will be auctioned off after the game.
The runner goes, and Jabalito Hernandez fouls one softly down the third base side. Yes, those uniforms commemorating the 1906 Cedar Rapids Bunnies. And as Levita said, I learned, Levita, they'll not only be auctioned off after the game, but during the game as well. That's on Monday. What time does the game start Monday afternoon?
The game starts at 2. Gates open at 1.
And Andy Pantini had an important addendum to, I don't know much about what you're about to say, but Andy said our listeners their ears would perk up if you talk about the second item on the 3rd of July.
The 3rd of July is also Iowa Public Television Red Green Day.
Jabalito Hernandez loops it in the air to right. Stantrell Smith is right in his tracks to make the catch. 1 away here in the top of the 8th inning. Dayton leads it by a run 4-3. And the runner at first, Szymanski, holds as Jabalito Hernandez flies to right. Luvita, are you familiar with the Iowa Public Television show Red Green?
I am not.
I'm not either. Sonia Massey, are you? No, Andy said it has a cult, very niche following. Well, just like some people like a certain kind of musician that I may have never heard of.
I'm curious.
Well, we'll find out. I know you'll be with your family in the Chicagoland area, but we'll let you know what it is. It's a show on public television, Iowa Public TV, called Red Green. I just have never watched it. I think it's a comedy on Saturday nights. A throw to first. Szymanski with 17 steals and 23 tries gets back safely. Al Gruwell, thank you so much. Luvita Hill tells me that you treated me to this nice, cool 12-ounce can of Diet Pepsi. Al Gruwell, our official scorer, thank you. They're starting the wave. Did Mr. Shucks get the wave going, Luvita, or how did it start?
I didn't see, but I don't see Mr. Shucks anywhere, so maybe they...
The wave has started. That's where people in unison, each section like an accordion, stand up and thrust their arms in the air. Have you ever done the wave at an Iowa football game?
Yes, many, many times.
Is it fun?
It is incredible fun.
Look at these folks. They're having such a great time, Luvita. I can't wait to get our attendance. I bet it's over 3,000.
Well, that just shows you the enthusiasm of the crowd. They're doing it without even having Mr. Shucks prompt them.
That's very
on their
true.
own.
All on their own. One person started this phenomenon, and I'd love to know who she or he is, because I want to put them on our sales staff. They sold the entire stadium on doing the wave, and that's not easy. The 1-0 pitch from Romero is low and away to Bobby Mosby. Ball 2. 2-0 to Bobby Mosby. The wave continues down below. I'll tell you one of the most favorite things I've done. There goes the runner. Swing and a miss. The throw by Madison Edwards is offline, and a stolen base for B.J. Szymanski, his 18th in 24 tries. And the Dragons have a runner at second. The count went 2-1 to Bobby Mosby. The stolen base by B.J. Szymanski. Dayton is leading this game in the top of the 8th inning, 4-3. They have a runner at second with 1 out. Robert Romero to Bobby Mosby, the right-handed slugger, and it's high. Ooh, a fastball at the letters, strike 2 called. I like when at Iowa football games, the cheerleaders divide the 2 sides into quadrants, or they divide the stadium into quadrants, and one quadrant will say I, and then the next quadrant, Lovita, guess what they say?
Oh.
Yes. And then
W.
Then A. Boy, we figured it out. Strike 3 called to Bobby Mosby. Big strikeout for Robert Romero of Bobby Mosby. 2 away here in the 8th inning. 4-3 Dayton. Yeah, that's fun to do that.
That is. Have you ever been to an Iowa Hawkeye football game?
A couple of them. Not as many as you and assistant Sonia Massey. You never miss them, but I go to one on occasion, yeah.
Those are fun. We're going to have to get you tickets this season, John.
Well, if you can do that, that'll be miraculous because they're hard to come by. Eric Iman batting with 2 out. One runner at second. 4-3 Dayton, a pitch in the dirt, and what a stop by Madison Edwards, who now has to give the baseball to the plate umpire Anthony West. We're at the top of the hour. This is Colonel Baseball on ESPN Radio 1600, KCRG Cedar Rapids. We'll have our baseball fun fact for you in the bottom of the 8th inning. In fact, I think we'll bring Sonia Massey in for that since she did all the research for it. Here's a high fly ball into right. Brad Kuhn comes in, or into right center. Brad Kuhn scoots in and gloves it. That's 5 putouts for the Colonel center fielder, Brad Kuhn. Robert Romero pitches around a leadoff walk and prevents the Dragons from adding to their 1-run lead. No runs for Dayton in the 8th inning. No hits, a walk, a stolen base. There were no Colonel errors, and the Dragons leave a runner aboard. They've stranded 6. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's the Dragons 4, the Colonels 3, and we'll invite Sonia Massey, Colonel assistant, to share one of the most harebrained, crazy, and flop promotions ever in baseball. Back on June 4th, 1974. You'll hear all about it. Our baseball fun fact coming your way next. After 7.5, it's the Colonels trailing the Dragons 4-3. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
For your communication needs, internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners who make a good team. Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative Communication.
Are you looking to take your baseball or softball game to the next level? The premier place to do it is Perfect Game, located across the street from Veterans Memorial Stadium. Perfect Game's professional baseball and softball instructors will help improve your pitching, hitting, throwing, fielding, and base running abilities in Iowa's premier training facility. For the best individual baseball and softball instruction and training, visit Perfect Game. That's Perfect Game, just a fly ball away from Veterans Memorial Stadium.
When it comes to making buying decisions, people let their fingers do the walking through Yellowbook Yellow Pages. It's no wonder. Yellowbook's packed with ads, coupons, restaurant menus, and more. Delivering to homes and businesses throughout the area, Yellowbook combines the features consumers want with advertising rates business owners can afford. To place your ad, call 1-800-YB-YELLOW. That's 1-800-YB-YELLOW. Yellowbook, not the other book.
Here we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Colonels trying to score for the first time since their 3-run third. Trail 4-3. 6'8" right-hander Logan Ondrusek has been virtually untouchable. He's retired. 6 of the 7 Colonels he's faced since taking over in the 6th inning. Stantrell Smith slaps the first pitch foul, strike 1. Stantrell is struck out and flown to deep center. He tomahawks the next pitch high in the air towards the Colonel bullpen. Chasing it down is Jabalito Hernandez, but he runs out of room. It's up into the bleacher section, the aluminum-backed Papa John's Plaza bleachers, strike 2. Baseball fun fact, and Sonia Massey is a longtime Colonel assistant. She did the research in helping me bolster my memory of a both funny and scary incident. Sonia Massey Y on June 4th, 1974, did over 25,000 people come to Municipal Stadium in Cleveland.
Well, John, they showed up for 10-cent beer that night.
Swing and a miss by Santrell, 1 out. How much was the beer in 1974 at Municipal Stadium?
In 1974, they did a promotion. They were selling 10-ounce cups of beer for 10 cents apiece.
Uh-oh, that sounds like it could be trouble. How many total cups did they sell?
Well, they sold 65,000 cups in total, and obviously the more that they sold, the crazier things got.
Yes, unfortunately, 10-cent beer night in Cleveland in 1974 was not that successful. In fact, Sonia, was in the 9th inning when a big ruckus or near riot broke out. I'll have you relay the details in a moment as Brad Kuhn takes a strike. Kuhn bunts, and it's up the third baseline. Barehanded try by Eric Iman. He can't come up with it cleanly. It's a bunt single for Brad Kuhn. Brad Kuhn has the first Colonel hit since Heinle Stasia's RBI single with 2 out back in the 3rd inning. Brad Kuhn has bunted his way on. The tying run at first with only 1 out here in the 8th inning. That's a big, big lift for the Kernels as Brad Kuhn bunted it up the third baseline, fair by about 3 feet. Eric Iman came charging in, tried to barehand it, couldn't come up with it cleanly, and it's Flint Whipke at the plate with the tying run. Brad Kuhn leading away at first, and Sonia will tell you what happened in the bottom of the 9th inning at Municipal Stadium, 1974, June 4th. It was a tie game 5-5 between the Indians and Rangers, and Sonia, that firewater had its effect on the crowd.
Sure. They were tied in the 9th inning, and they had runners at first and second with 2 outs.
The Indians did.
Uh-huh. And fans started to storm the field. They were trying to steal right fielder Jeff
Burroughs'
bat.
Or hat, I'm sorry.
Hat.
I misspelled that.
That's
yeah.
Okay. Then they were throwing firecrackers, beer, smoke bombs, basically everything that they probably could get their hands on into the bullpen, which is definitely distracting.
Billy Martin, I remember, was the manager of the Rangers. He brought his team out of the dugout with bats to try to ward off the unruly drunk fans. You mentioned some of the shenanigans and the violence. Firecrackers, smoke bombs, chairs were thrown. What else ensued? The plate umpire was Nestor Shylock. I remember that.
Yep, and he was hit in the head with a chair.
Yes, I remember
with
that.
A folding chair.
And that's when Nestor Shylock decided enough of this 5-5.
Yep.
What did he describe the crowd as? I know he had some famous quote.
Let's see. He referred to them as uncontrollable beasts.
Uncontrollable what?
Beasts. Yep, he was hit with a chair, and then they called the game.
Who won it?
In favor of the Rangers.
Yes, the Indians had to forfeit.
Yep.
On their own beer night.
Yep.
10-ounce cups of beer for 10 cents back in 1974. Here's the 1-0, and instead of throw to first, Kuhn gets back safely. Didn't the Indians have plans for more of those beer nights?
They did. They were actually going to they had planned for 2 more, and they were actually going to continue to do them. They wanted to do them. But
the American League president
said no. Not such a good idea, folks.
Oh, goodness, I shouldn't laugh, but that was a very badly conceived. Here's a towering pop-up for the second out of the inning, I think. It's a foul ball, and it drifts back towards the first baseline. It's caught by Jovelito Hernandez. Flint Whipke is fouled out 10 feet up the first baseline for the second out here in the Colonel 8th inning. 4-3 Dayton, and the batter is Heinle Stasia. Brad Kuhn bunted his way on here in the 8th inning, but is at first with 2 out, and Heinle Stasia's the batter. Sonia, you enjoy reading about these weird and... let me say, although it was an ill-conceived, rather dumb promotion tried by the Indians, at least they were trying something new.
Sure.
They just went about it the wrong way.
Yeah, I mean, you never know until you try.
Right.
And
the mistake, I think, was the low price, or if they would have limited people to 2 10-cent beers, that might have been okay.
Mm-hmm. And that's what we do here.
Yeah.
I mean, now, like in the 7th inning, they always stop selling beer no matter what. But I really enjoy reading about a lot of that stuff because, you know, that we've worked on a lot of different promotions here, and it's fun to try different things. And sometimes they work, and obviously sometimes they don't. But, like, we have Dollar Beer Night tonight, and we know that that's been very successful for us.
It's been great success.
Yeah.
Kuhn draws a throw. Brad leads the league with 28 steals. He's at first with 2 away. Here in the bottom of the 8th inning, 4-3 Dayton, we have another one-run game that we're embroiled in. So what's new? Out of our 77 games this year, 30 have been decided by 1 run. 30. The 6'8" right-hander, Ondrusek comes set, throws to first. Brad dives back in safely. Well, poor Jeff Burrows, I remember seeing the footage of that crowd storming the field trying to steal his hat, and then Billy Martin brought out his team. He was managing the Rangers. They brought their bats out to try to protect Jeff Burrows, who was the league MVP that year in 74. And the forfeit went to the Rangers. Sonia, just out of curiosity, this is an interesting rules question. When a game is forfeited, do you know what the final score is?
No,
9-0. I don't know where they get that, but Texas was awarded a 9-0 win.
Oh, so they automatically do the score like that?
Yes. 9, any game forfeited is automatically 9, and I don't know why. I'm sure Lanny Peterson would know. Lanny knows all baseball rules. Maybe Al Grewell would know.
Well, I'll have to scoot over there and ask Al and see what he thinks about it.
Yeah, why is a forfeit always 9-0? The Indians really could have won that game.
Yeah.
They had runners at first and second with 2 out in the bottom of the 9th before their fans stormed the field. Throwing, well, here's the runner going. A pitch high, the throw to second. Not nearly in time. Kuhn dives in safely with the tying run. Stolen base for the league leader, number 29. Brad Kuhn is single-handedly trying to help the Kernels tie this one up. Heinley Stacia took a pitch high for ball 2. The throw by Chris Denovi was to the left field side of the base, and Kuhn, who is now caked in dirt, standing at second as the tying run. Boy, that Brad Kuhn plays hard-nosed baseball. Yes, that crowd got out of hand at Municipal Stadium in 1974. 10-cent beer night. Ball 3 inside and low to Stacia.
Fortunately for the Kernels, our Dollar Beer Night gets the crowd in a good mood.
Right.
And they start doing the wave and cheering very loud. So it works out very well for us.
But not in a riotous mood. I think our research showed some of the fans had knives.
Yeah. To be frank, I mean, I don't know where they would just get a smoke bomb.
Right.
And a firecracker out of their pockets or something, but...
Well, I'll tell you what. It really attracted, unfortunately, Sonia, I think kind of the thugs or the dregs of Cleveland.
Yeah. Yep. Every thug in town definitely was coming to the drunken riots at the 10-cent beer night.
Oh, goodness. The payoff pitch to Heinley. A looper into left. It may fall. It may fall. It may fall. It's caught. It's caught on the run by Chris Holden. Chris Holden had to charge in and make a running catch on a little dying quail. And the Dragons snuffed the Colonel rally here in the 8th inning. Sonia Massey, Colonel Assistant, thank you so much for doing the research on that ill-fated promotion back in Cleveland, 10-cent beer night in 1974.
You're welcome, John. It was fun to do it, and hopefully we never have to talk about a bad promotion that goes wrong for us.
We hope not either, at least not as badly as that one went. Oh, the Kernels came within a whisker of tying the game as Heinley Statia's 2-out looper into left, shallow left, was caught by the sprinting Chris Holden. No runs in the 8th for the Kernels. A bunt single by Kuhn, 1 hit, our 4th of the game. There were no Dragon errors, and the Kernels leave 1 man aboard. We've stranded 3. We go to the top of the 9th inning, and a new Colonel pitcher will come on, Tim Madison. After 8, it's the Kernels trailing Dayton 4-3. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
When it comes to auto insurance, Westside Agency in Palo, your professional Pekin insurance agency, will make certain you're properly insured with the right coverages and deductibles. Westside Agency will tell you about the money-saving discounts from Pekin Insurance. Multi-car discount, good student discount, loss-free discount, 45-plus auto discount, auto home discount, low mileage discount. To see if you qualify for any of these auto discounts that will lower your premiums, visit Westside Agency in Palo.
Did you know that June is Perennial Gardening Month? Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center is your perennial plant expert with the best selection in town. Start your lasting perennial garden with Peck's great variety of new and all-time favorite perennials. From our selection of quality perennials, Peck's will help you select the right perennials for your garden or yard. Each week during the month of June, Peck's will feature a perennial plant available for a special price. Be sure to look for this week's featured perennial as you stroll through our many acres of plants and flowers. Stop by to visit the plant people at PEX if you start your perennial garden or add to your existing garden. PEX, celebrating 50 years of growing since 1956. PEX Flower Shop and Garden Center, nursery and landscaping, at the corner of Blair's Ferry and Edgewood Road, Northeast.
We go to the top of the ninth inning. We have a U.S. Cellular call to the Colonel bullpen. Get your wireless relief with Call Me Minutes only from U.S. Cellular. It's Tim Madison on in relief for the Colonels. Robert Romero went 1 inning, allowed no runs, no hits, struck out 1, walked 1. Robert Romero gives way to Tim Madison. Tim, a 24-year-old right-hander, has pitched well for the Colonels this season. Luvita will have his numbers in just a moment, as the 0-1 pitch is in for strike 2 called to Chris Denovi. Denovi doubled and scored in the Dragon 2-run 5th inning. The difference in the game right now, a leadoff walk issued by Daniel Hawkins out of the Colonel bullpen that allowed the Dragons to take the lead in the 7th inning. They lead it here in the top of the 9th, 4-3. Swinging a foul off to the right by the right-handed hitting catcher. The count remains 0-2. Well, Levita Hill, Tim Madison has pitched well this year.
Yes, he has. He has a 2-5 record, and this is his 24th game. Madison has a 4.42 ERA, and he's pitched 38 2/3 innings. 48 players have scored against him. He's walked 7, struck out 26.
A high pop foul off to the right by Denovi. The count remains 0-2.
And the league is batting .316 against him.
Tim Madison. A loser Sunday in Fort Wayne, but he pitched very well in a Colonel 13-inning loss to the Wizards, 7-6. Tim went 3 1/3, allowed 1 run on 3 hits, struck out 1, walked 1. A high pop foul. The batter Denovi may have broken his bat. That one up onto the Miller Mezzanine Terrace. Luvita, great news about our attendance tonight.
That's right. We had 2,950 people join us at the ballpark this evening. 29,000, that would be a lot.
Well, so is 2,950, but yeah, that would be, we couldn't hold that many here.
29,000.
Swing and a miss by Denovi on a changeup. Yeah, 29,000.
That'd be, what's the population of Cedar Rapids?
100,000, so it would be almost, a little over a fifth of the population, and we sure do thank everyone who's come out during the first half. It's been a marvelous start to the season. We're just starting the second half. Game number 1 of 35 in the second half, the first game of an 8-game homestand. We'll be here tomorrow evening, and Josh Holden, who's 2 for 3, slices it foul past his manager, coaching at third, Billy Gardner Jr. Luvita, remind our listeners again what's in store for tomorrow in terms of a keen giveaway.
Tomorrow we have the iOS Office Supply Hat Giveaway. First 1,000 fans will receive a baseball cap from iOS Office Solutions. Be here at 6 o'clock so you can get your hat. The gates open at 6. Game starts at 7. Kernels versus Dragons.
Swing and a miss by Holden, strike 2. A right-hander is warming up in the Dayton bullpen. I haven't been able to make out who it is yet. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Josh Holden is caught looking, and Tim Madison is struck out 2. 2 away here in the top of the 9th inning. The Colonels scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 3rd inning. A 2-out triple by Flint Whipke scored a pair. He scored. He drove in Edwards and Kuhn, and then Whipke scored on an RBI single by Heinle Stacia. The Colonels, though, have not scored since that 3-run 3rd inning. Meanwhile, the Dragons scored a run in the 4th inning, an RBI single by their leading run producer, Jay Bruce. They scored 2 in the 5th inning to tie the game off starter Andy Hill, and then got a leadoff walk from Eric Eyman, who was facing Dan Hawkins in the 7th, and Eyman scored on a double down the left field side by Mike Griffin. Swing and a miss, strike 1 on Mike Griffin. Mike now slices the 1-1 pitch foul up onto the Papa John's Plaza. Well, Luvita, it's just too hard to make out that guy's number. He's a tall right-hander. It may be Canadian Philippe Valaquette, who's on the disabled list, throwing for his own benefit. He's not throwing very hard, so I think he's just testing his arm out. I don't think he'll take over in the bottom of the 9th inning. Philippe Valaquette. At least that's who I think it is. 2-2. Ball 3 just low from Tim Madison. This crowd of 2,950, hoping that Tim can strike out the side. 4-3 Dayton, top of the ninth inning, and a one-hopper to second. Larry Infante one-hands it and throws out the batter. We're going to go to the bottom of the ninth inning, trailing by a run. A 1-2-3 inning for Tim Madison. We're going to keep it right here as the Dragons go down in order in the top of the ninth inning. Let's see who's going to pitch for Dayton. It is that tall right-hander who was warming up. Now we'll finally be able to find out who he is. What a job by Logan Ondrusek. Logan Ondrusek threw 3 shutout innings in relief of starter Robert Manuel. Ondrusek could win this game. He went 3 innings, allowed no runs on just 1 hit. Justin Mallett, M-A-L-L-E-T-T, is pitching for the Dragons. Logan Ondrusek went 3 innings, allowed no runs, 1 hit, struck out 1, and walked 1. A right-hander, Justin Mallett, M-A-L-L-E-T-T. Justin Mallett is now pitching for Dayton. We'll tell you more about Mallett. He'll face the Colonel cleanup batter, Jordan Renz, here in the bottom of the ninth inning, 4-3 Dayton. Justin Mallett is now pitching for the Dragons. He's a 6'6", 24-year-old right-hander out of East St. Louis, Illinois. Went to school at Merrimack Junior College. Before that, Belleville West High School. He's from the St. Louis area. And Lubita, it'll be interesting to hear the line on this 6'6" right-hander, Justin Mallett.
That's right. Mallett is appearing in his 9th game with a 3.00 ERA. He has a 0-3 record, and he's pitched 12 innings. 8 players have hit against him, not 6, and the league is batting 186 against him.
How many saves does he have, Lubita? Any?
He has 1. Oh, I'm sorry, he has no saves.
Okay, Justin Mallett, a 6'6" right-hander to face Jordan Renz, leading off here in the bottom of the ninth inning, 4-3 Dayton, and a fastball is in for strike 1 from Mallett. Well, the last Dayton pitcher, Logan Ondrusek, was 6'8". This one is 6'6". Justin Mallett. Jordan Renz, nothing for 3 tonight, batting .239, a team-high 14 home runs. He's driven in 44 runs. Swing and a miss, strike 2 on Jordan. Jordan's had a tough time of it since the All-Star break. I think his shoulder may still be bothering him a little bit. He's just 3 for 27 since the All-Star break, and that's not like Jordan Renz to come out of the gate in a slump like that. So he may be hurting more than we know. He'd never say a word. He's a tough kid. Right-handed batter in the hole, no balls, 2 strikes. Mallett pitches in a high pop-up. This will be the first out of the Colonel ninth inning. Drifting in front of the Colonel dugout on the grass in foul ground to glove it is Jovelito Hernandez. Jovelito Hernandez catches the foul pop off the bat of Jordan Renz. 1 away here in the ninth inning. 4-3 Dayton. The Colonels are going to try to prevent. We don't want to go to 12-19 in one-run games. We want to rally to tie it or win it here in the ninth inning tonight before this big, boisterous crowd of nearly 3,000. Here's a bunt by Larry Infante. Mallett, bare hand, throws, not in time! Larry Infante reaches on a bunt single, and this big crowd is roaring. Larry Infante with the second Colonel bunt single in as many innings. Larry laid it down between third and the mound. Justin Mallett pounced on it, threw in the dirt. Larry Infante, a left-handed batter, slid in head first to first base, and the Colonels have the tying run at first with 1 out here in the bottom of the ninth inning. And let's see if Mark Trumbo can come out of his hitting woes. Mark is 0 for his last 22. He's due now. Mark Trumbo's due to come through with something, a walk, a base hit, I know it's asking too much for a game-winning 2-run homer, but you can always dream about it, can't you? Heck yes, you can. Larry Infante at first. The first pitch to Trumbo. Low, ball 1. That bunt single by Larry Infante, the 5th Kernel hit of this game. Kernels got scoreless relief from Robert Romero and Tim Madison to keep it a 1-run game. We're in the bottom of the 9th inning. 4-3 Dragons. Short lead at first by Infante. He's not running. And a strike on the outside corner to the Kernel right-handed slugger, Mark Trumbo. Mark is flown out to right, struck out, and grounded back to the mound tonight. 9 home runs, 32 RBIs for number 32, Mark Trumbo. Mark waiting for the 1-1 pitch. Here it is. Swing and a tip foul, strike 2. Justin Mallett trying to save it for Logan Ondrusek. One on, one out, bottom of the 9th inning. Tying run at first, Larry Infante. The 1-2 to Trumbo. Mark takes a curveball high for ball 2. Nothing doing in either club's bullpen. Bottom of the 9th inning, 4-3 Dayton. Kernels have played more 1-run games than any team I've ever seen. This is the 31st 1-run game as it stands right now out of 78. Mark fights off a pitch in on his hands and fouls it away to the right. Force, the count remains 2-2. Ondrusek, the pitcher of record for the Dragons, is trying to win his second game. Justin Mallett, as Lubita said, has 1 save. He's trying to save it for Ondrusek. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Trumbo. A tap foul past first base coach Eric Owens. Sunday afternoon, Lubita, 2 o'clock start, and who's going to be here as our headline entertainer on Sunday afternoon?
On Sunday afternoon, we have Myron Noodleman.
Need we say more? Myron Noodleman will be here Sunday afternoon. And Lubita will tell you in a moment what you'll receive if you wear a Freedom Festival pin. We'll do that in just a second. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Trumbo with the crowd roaring. Ball 3, low and outside. Lubita, if you wear a Freedom Festival pin here Sunday afternoon for the 2 o'clock game, what will you receive?
You will receive a jersey backpack. To my understanding, it's a backpack that's shaped like a jersey.
Yes, and if you're among the first 500 wearing the Freedom Festival pin, you'll get one. Is Infante running? Yes, he is. Ball 4, low and inside. Mark Trumbo did everything the Kernels could ask of him. He reaches base. Big walk drawn by Mark Trumbo. Tying run at second. Winning run at first for the Kernels here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Larry Pearson, the Dayton pitching coach, out to the mound. And Lubita Hill, Sundays also mean popcorn for how much?
Popcorn is $1.
And what do the Kernels do between 1:20 and 1:40?
They sign autographs for their many, many fans.
Yes, they do. All of that to look forward to on Sunday. A family fun Sunday.
That's right. Gates open at 1. The game's at 2. Kernels and Dragons, come early.
Come early before that autograph session, yes. And after the game, thanks to Velocity Sports Performance,
kids get to run the bases on the field, and they can play catch on the field, too. What kid wouldn't want to play catch on a professional baseball field?
None that I know. Every kid I know, boy or girl, would love that. All right, the Kernels have mounted a rally here in the bottom of the 9th inning, trying to catch or pass the Dragons. 4-3 Dayton. Dallas Morris walked his last time up, stole second. He's 0 for 2. He's batting with the tying run. Here's a fly ball down the right field line, and it knuckles into the Papa John's Plaza. Strike 1 on Dallas Morris. Larry Infante, the tying run at first. Mark Trumbo, the tying run at second. Infante. Mark Trumbo, the winning run at first here in the bottom of the 9th inning. 4-3 Dragons. Man, this crowd is juiced.
They are very excited for this Kernels game.
Kernels trying to score for the first time since their 3-run third inning. Dallas Morris, a .221 batter on the year, 5 home runs, 26 RBIs. Dallas doubled last night in Burlington. Fastball, inside corner, strike 2 to Dallas Morris from Justin Mallett, M-A-L-L-E-T-T. Dallas Morris, a right-handed hitter out of Louisiana Lafayette, wears a pair of black batting gloves, uses a two-tone color bat, a brown handle, and a black barrel. The 0-2 to Dallas, outside and low. Good stop by Chris DeNovi, the Dayton backstop, to prevent a wild pitch. Oh, the Kernels have fought hard tonight. A typical Kernel game with great pitching and sparse offense, but we're in a position now to try to tie it or win it in the bottom of the 9th inning. Infante at second, Trumbo at first, the 1-2 from Mallett. A double play ball to second, throw to second out, throw to first. Dayton wins it on a double play. A double play turned by the Dragons. It went 4-6-3, and another disappointing 1-run loss for the Kernels. Dayton wins it 4-3. The Dragons win it 4-3. Dallas Morris hit a one-hopper to Mike Griffin, who underhanded to Adam Rosales, the shortstop, on to first for a 4-6-3 twin killing. And the Kernel frustration continues. Doggone it, we lose another 1-run game here tonight. No runs in the 9th for the Kernels. 1 hit, a bunt single by Infante. There were no Dayton errors. A walk. The Kernels leave 1 and stranded 4. We'll be back in just a moment with the totals, highlights, and more on the Kernel Curtain Call. This is Kernel Baseball. Oops, wait a minute. We've got to get that all queued up for us. The winning pitcher in this one was That's tricky. Thanks a lot, Luvita. The winning pitcher for the Dragons was reliever Logan Ondrusek, and the Kernel loser was Dan Hawkins. 4-3. The Dragons take the series opener. Man, they got here at 7 o'clock in the morning, didn't get to the ballpark until 5:30 this afternoon. We were the fresher team, and we had a 3-0 lead, yet we lost it 4-3. A little bit more frustration, but the Kernels fought them to the end. We'll be back with the totals on highlights and more next on the Kernel Curtain Call here on the Kernel Radio Network.
Next up, a musical taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a new spin on an old vibe from me to you. A tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ears, and it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper?
Now that's cool, but pepper is a little better. So let's slide in a taste of this.
I'm a pepper,
right on. But there's still more to it. I mean, there's nothing like it, because every sip is a kick and mashup of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more.
I'm a pepper.
You know it. With 23 flavors mixed into one full taste, every sip is a cool mix of music to your mouth. Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
Your home is a place for savoring all the good things in life. It's a place for celebrations. It's a place where memories are created. To make sure your home is properly insured, visit Sheets Forest Draper in Marion, your professional Pekin insurance agency. Sheets Forest Draper will give you all important details about homeowners insurance with complete coverages and surprisingly affordable rates. Visit Sheets Forest Draper in Marion for homeowners insurance for your well-lived and well-loved home.
It's time for the Kernels Curtain Call. Now, with a game recap, a complete look at the State Farm scoreboard, and a look ahead to upcoming action, let's rejoin the voice of the Kernels, John Rogers.
A boisterous crowd of nearly 2,950 welcomed the Kernels back home for the first time since July 18th, Father's Day. The Kernels started the second half on the road, won 3, lost 4, and sink to another tough 1-run loss here tonight in the home opener of the second half. It was 4-3 Dayton. portion one of the Colonel Curtin Call, and we give you a game recap. The starters in this game were 21-year-old right-hander Andy Hill for the Kernels and former New York Met minor leaguer Robert Manuel for the Dragons. And it was the Kernels that scored first in this game. We scored our only 3 runs in the bottom of the 3rd inning. A one-out single by Madison Edwards, who did a great job catching tonight. It was his first start of the season behind the plate. Madison singled into right with 1 out. With 2 out, Brad Kuhn reached on a fielding error at short by Adam Rosales. It was first and second, 2 out. And Flint Whipke on a 3-2 pitch from Manuel laced his team-high 7th triple into the right center field alley. Both Edwards and Kuhn scored to make it 2-0 Kernels in the 3rd. Heinley Stacia followed with a base hit to left to chase home Flint, and it was 3-0 Kernels after 3 innings. The Dragons took a bite out of that 3-0 lead in the very next half inning. Adam Rosales, the man that committed the error that allowed the Kernels to score the 3 unearned runs in the bottom of the 3rd, led off the 4th with a double over the head of Brad Kuhn. Jay Bruce then delivered his team-high 51st RBI of the year as he singled into left field, and that made it a 3-1 Colonel lead. With 1 out in the 5th inning, the Dragons tied the game. Lowly 188 hitting catcher Chris Denobi doubled over the head of Brad Kuhn in center. Josh Holden, batting .246, the number 9 hitter, then doubled into right center. That chased home Chris Denobi to make it a 3-2 Colonel lead. And with 2 out, Adam Rosales singled into center field, scoring Josh Holden, the number 9 hitter, and we were tied 3-3 after 4.5 innings. The Dragons scored the game-winning run in the 7th inning. In relief of Andy Hill, Dan Hawkins walked the first batter. He faced Eric Iman. Chris Denobi, the catcher, sacrificed Iman to second. Josh Holden then reached on an infield single to send Iman the go-ahead run to 3rd. And then Mike Griffin doubles down the left field line to score Eric Iman. The man who walked to start the inning scored, and Dayton led it 4-3. After Heinley Stacia's 2-out RBI single in the 3rd that gave the Kernels a 3-0 lead, the Kernels didn't have a base runner until the bottom of the 7th inning. With 2 out, Dallas Morris walked, stole second, but a game-saving catch by Jay Bruce in deep right center field off the bat of Madison Edwards prevented the Kernels from tying the game in that 7th inning. Oh, it was a great catch by Bruce in right center to take an extra base hit away from Madison Edwards. Then in the 8th inning, the Kernels made a bid to tie the game. Again, Brad Kuhn bunted his way on, stole his Midwest League leading 29th base. He was at second with only 1 out, but Flint Whipke fouled to first, and Heinley Stacia dumped one into shallow left. Chris Holden came on quickly to make the running catch, and that thwarted that Kernel scoring chance. The Kernels made another run at the Dragons in the bottom of the 9th inning. Justin Mallett, with 1 out, surrendered a bunt single to Larry Infante. Mark Trumbo walked, and the Kernels had, with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th, the tying run at second, the winning run at first, but right-hander Justin Mallett got Dallas Morris to wrap into a game-ending 4-6-3 double play, and the Colonel bid for a comeback tire win was shut down. The Kernels lose yet another 1-run game. Our record in 1-run games is now 12-19. Our record in 1-run games in the second half, 2-5. 2-5. The Colonel record overall is now 3-5. 3-5, the Colonel record. Here's the final line score. The Dragons 4 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors. They left at half a dozen. The Colonels 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors. We left 4 men aboard. The winning pitcher out of the bullpen for the Dragons was Logan Ondrusek. He spun 3 shutout innings in relief of starter Robert Manuel. Ondrusek's record, 2 wins and 2 losses. The Colonel loser was Dan Hawkins. Dan's record now stands at 0-1, and a save goes to Justin Mallett, his second of the season. The game took 2 hours and 26 minutes, and there were 2,950 to welcome the Kernels back home for the second half. Dayton wins it 4-3. We'll return in just a moment here on the Colonel Curtin Call with our PRC play of the game.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Kernel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank, free money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
There's a lot you can do to satisfy your taste for Italian. You can marry one. You can drive one. Or you can go to Zio Giano's and feast on Zio's homemade bread, pizzas, and pasta, authentically prepared in Zio Giano's famous Italian style. Zio Giano's for the hometown taste of Italy.
Oh, come to Zio Giano's, our pasta makes you Zio. Come to Zio Giano's for real Italiano. Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes.
The Dayton Dragons played a 4-hour game last night in Dayton, completing a sweep of the Southwest Michigan Devil Rays. They arrived here in Cedar Rapids at 7 o'clock this morning, came to the ballpark at 5:30, but somehow the road-weary Dragons erased a Kernel 3-0 lead after 3 innings and won it 4-3 on this beautiful Thursday night. It's now time for our PRC play of the game. If you're looking for a job that you'll love, look no further than PRC. Check PRC out online, www.prcnet.com. The benefits at PRC are unparalleled. They're known as life essentials. And if you work at PRC, you can dress casually, you can schedule your hours flexibly, and you'll receive a 401k retirement savings plan, medical, dental, vision, and pet insurance, all a part of the great benefits at PRC. Our PRC play of the game came in the 3rd inning, a scoreless game. Flint Whipke had run the count full against starter Robert Manuel. The Kernels had Madison Edwards at second, and Brad Kuhn had reached on an error. He was at first, and Flint Whipke provides us with our PRC play of the game. Then you sit together in the stands for the ball game. The runners will be off for a second time as Flint Whipke on a 3-2 delivery laces it into right center for extra bases. Flint has put the Kernels ahead 2-0. Madison Edwards scores. Speeding around third and scoring is Brad Kuhn, and Flint Whipke dives into third with a head-first slide. Flint Whipke with his team-high 7th triple of the year has given the Kernels an early 2-0 lead here tonight. PRC play of the game, Flint Whipke's team-high 7th triple of the year, chasing home 2 Kernel runners, Edwards from second, Kuhn from first. Whipke would then score on an RBI single by Heinley Stacia to give the Kernels a 3-0 lead in the 3rd inning. Those would be the only Kernel runs of the night as Dayton won it 4-3. That's our PRC play of the game. Standing by to give you a complete look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard from finals this afternoon to finals tonight to games underway is Kernel broadcast assistant Luvita Hill. So stay tuned. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
The hottest feature in beautiful Veterans Memorial Stadium is the coolest place. It's the Rolling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. How can you and your friends relax and splash it up from the most coveted spot at the ballpark? Simply register at Center Point in Westdale Mall and listen. If you're selected as the winner, you'll enjoy the ultimate entertainment experience. AquaJet stream comfort atop the left field wall in the Rolling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. Brought to you by Westdale Mall and Rolling Waters. Your chance to splash it up.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odyssey. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
Dayton wins the opener of this 8-game Kernel homestand 4-3. And a programming reminder before we throw it over to Luvita Hill, Kernel broadcast assistant, for a complete look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Tomorrow evening will be heard on 1450 KMRY. Scott Unash will be in the zone with you for the races from Hawkeye Downs. We'll be on 1450 KMRY tomorrow for the second game of this 4-game series between the Kernels and Dragons. Dayton won the series opener tonight before a crowd of almost 3,000, 4-3. And now here's broadcast assistant Luvita Hill with a complete look at the afternoon and evening action on the State Farm Major League scoreboard.
Thank you to State Farm insurance agents Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, Gary Schubert, and Brad Dunn. With 4 games completed this afternoon and 5 this evening, here's a look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. The only game played in the National League at Wrigley Field, the Cubs bowed to the Brewers 5-4. 3 other games completed this afternoon, interleague play at PNC Park. The Pirates nipped the White Sox 7-6. The A's trimmed the Padres at Petco Park 6-5. And at SPC Park, the Giants clipped the Rangers 2-1. Games completed earlier this evening at Great American Ballpark. The Reds crept past the Royals 6-5. At Fenway Park, the Red Sox knocked off the Mets 4-2. The Phillies whitewashed the Orioles at Camden Yards 4-0. And at Rogers Center, the Blue Jays turned back the Nationals 8-4. Still taking place at Chase Ballpark. The game is tied 1-1 in the bottom of the third. That's Mariners and Diamondbacks. Once again, thank you to State Farm insurance agents Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, Gary Schubert, and Brad Dunn for that look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard.
All right, Luvita, thank you so much. How about one more reminder, if you're among the first 1,000 through the gates tomorrow evening, what you'll be rewarded with?
If you come to our game tomorrow evening and you're among the first 1,000 to come in, you will receive an iOS Office Solutions hat.
A Kernel cap, that's right. And the Kernels will be out to end a mini 3-game losing skid. Man, oh man, I can't decide whether this ball club just doesn't think it can win close games. That's one scenario. Or if we're just not quite good enough to win one-run games. Or maybe it's none of those two scenarios. But the positive part is when you play 31 one-run games out of 78, you're a pretty darn good ball club. We just have to improve our record in one-run games. We've won 12, lost 19, and our one-run records in the second half, our record in one-run games now slips to 2 wins and 5 losses. Dayton wins this series opener 4-3. Thanks for joining us, whether you were tuned in here at the ballpark or on your front porch or in your car, at the office, wherever you were. Thank you for bringing the Kernel baseball experience into your life. We'll be greeting you tomorrow at 6:40, and we're going to postpone our Ask the Manager show. Bob Brooks is able to join us tomorrow for Brooks at Bat, so join Bob and I at 6:40 right here on the Kernel Radio Network. Remember, tomorrow evening we'll be on 1450 KMRY, 6:40 for Brooks at Bat. Bob Brooks and I will get together. In lieu of the Ask the Manager show, we're going to give Bobby Magianis a week off, and we'll resume next Friday with the Ask the Manager show. For Kernel Broadcast Assistant Luvita Hill, I'm John Rogers, bidding you a very good rest of your Thursday evening. One more time, the final from Veterans Memorial Stadium, the Dragons edge the Kernels 4-3. This has been Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
This has been a special sports presentation from The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids. Now back to our regularly scheduled ESPN programming already in progress.